Drivers, to your cars.
Do you want to go to heaven tonight? Leave the evidence far behind. Say, all right, all right. Do you want to be my lover tonight? We can leave everybody else behind. Say, all right, all right. Do you want to see heaven tonight? Underneath those lights, you will look so beautiful. Do you want to see the stars before they fall? See the stars before they fall. Do you want to be my love tonight? For all my life, it could be so wonderful. Do you want to see the stars before they fall? See the stars before they fall. Maybe we should just run away. Never look back as the world decays. Say, all right, all right. Nothing matters ever since the day you pulled the pin on my heart like a hand grenade. Saying, all right, all right. Do you want to see heaven tonight? Underneath those lights, you will look so beautiful. Do you want to see the stars before they fall? See the stars before they fall. Do you want to be my love tonight? For all my life, it could be so wonderful. Do you want to see the stars before they fall? See the stars before they fall. Fall out of the atmosphere, let's run. Run until we disappear and never let them come and catch us. Never let them take away our
Talladega Superspeedway is the site for the season finale of the MSR Tally Challenge. NASCAR leads Chapman by 25 points. So shout out your window if that don't work. Call your neighbor and grab your favorite beverage and strap in. DRTV has all the stars in the cars from the Tally Challenge next.
And we welcome you to DRTV's live coverage of the MSR Tally Challenge season finale here on DRTV. The Talladega Superspeedway is the home for this awesome, amazing race. We have a full field of cars on hand. I count 38 ready to take the green flag tonight for 76 laps around the Talladega Superspeedway in what should be an absolute barn burner. We've been over here at the RTG camp all week long. We had championship night on Monday. We had championship just one night ago in the Aero 88 series. And now the big grand finale for the week, the MSR Tally Challenge. Here, flag-to-flag coverage, a part of DRTV tonight. Thanks for joining us, everybody. My name is Phil Lacasse, along with Todd Stanton, Mr. TV Time, Rich Patton in the DRTV control booth. An awesome night of racing we have on hand, Todd. A full field of cars, and this, no doubt, this will no doubt be the crown jewel of the week right here.
Yeah, I believe these guys have a fantastic show in store for us. Points are up on the screen. Tim Nosker right now is your current points leader. He is 25 points ahead of John Chapman Jr. Also, Chris Robbins running in at third position. He's 56 points back. George Harta-Felix, he has 2 wins on the season. He's 4th in points. Paul Wolf is 5th. 6th is Terry Bombard. Jeff Crivello is 7th in points. Chris Harta-Felix in 8th in points. Brian Bell, 9th. And Stevie Minson, he rounds out your top 10 for the Talladega Challenge for the Midwest Sim Racing Group here and part of Rolling Thunder Gaming. So I'm sure that these are going to be a lot of good things are in store here this evening, Phil. And Tim Nosker, 25-point lead. That's not safe when you got 37 cars out there.
No, not at all. So I believe you said 37 cars. What we have on the grid tonight, 37 is a full field here tonight on DRTV from Talladega. Mr. TV Time, Rich Patton in the DRTV control booth. Rich, we've been over here before for this Tally Challenge. I mean, it's quite the experience to go over here and see these guys 3 and sometimes 4 wide around the speedway. I know you have all the awesome looks for us here at Talladega tonight.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. 37 cars in the field tonight. 2.66 mile tri-oval at Talladega. Pit window's going to be 18 to 20 laps tonight. Pit road speed's going to be 55 mile an hour. Damage, they're running moderate damage tonight with 2X tire wear. Once again, this is the Gen 6 mod coming out of the Bull Ring, running CTS physics. These guys are definitely going to be running 2 wide, probably going to see quite a bit of 3 wide. And I remember last time we were over here with these guys in the Tally Challenge, we even saw 4 wide running around this track. It didn't last long, but it happens. So race fans, be on your toes. These guys are not afraid to run door to door.
No doubt, Rich. It's going to be an amazing night here. 3 and 4 wide racing for 76 laps around the Talladega Superspeedway. The season finale for the MSR Tally Challenge. It's been an awesome season here so far. I mean, I've counted over 85 entries at one point this season. We have the top 37 here tonight, ready to rock and roll here for 76 laps at Talladega, which I know we said we talked about it. We were here Monday night as part of the Barebone series, the truck series over here. They do an RTG on Monday nights. That was a phenomenal race. Caution-free for the Michigan International Speedway. On Wednesday night, last night, just one night ago, we were here for the Aero 88 series finale for the Michigan International Speedway. 1 yellow flag, an awesome race here. And of course, tonight at Talladega, we're going to do it all over again. Championship night here at Talladega as part of this MSR Tally Challenge for RTG over here tonight. While we're talking about having this big main event and championship night, we have on the point leader here, that being Tim Nosker. Tim, Bill from DRTV, you have a copy?
Yeah, go ahead.
Tim coming in tonight with a point leader, a 25-point cushion over Johnny Chapman Jr. What's that strategy going to be for you out there in that 088 tonight?
A lot of praying.
That's easy. A lot of praying.
No. I'm just going to try to put my car in a safe spot. Basically, just try to stay out of trouble. We've been known to have a few incidents here and there, so if I can avoid those, maybe I can come out of this thing on top.
Now, Tim, being one of the main admins over here at MSR here each and every week for this Tally Challenge, talk to me a little bit about the qualifying speeds here. This whole field from first to better than 30th place is less than a tenth and a half. That is just minimal. I mean, what's the strategy you can go for qualifying here? Did qualifying play that much of a key here as it seems to look on the speed charts?
It really does. A lot of guys kind of take it for granted that they don't have to qualify well because they know they're going to be in a race. But as you know, every week we end up with 50-plus cars showing up to run Thursday night, and guys have really had to work on their qualifying to get better at it and try to be able to make the fields if they're not clocked in the top 30. So qualifying times, a 502 is pretty good, a 52.502, and now, you know, guys have been working on it and getting it down in the fours. I think we had the better half of the field that was in the fours, and it really means a lot in this series.
Yeah, top 13 drivers clocked in on that 52.4 second range. Now, Tim said the season finale tonight here for this MSR Tally Challenge. You're here week after week. Now, we've had more than 80-plus entries here throughout this season. But for those who are looking for more information or that want to get involved in the series, how can drivers out there get a part of this action?
Well, all they have to do is go to rollingthundergaming.com and look for the info on the Tally Challenge, or they can get our team, come on in and grab one of the owners, and we'll be happy to help anyone and everyone who wants to race with us. We're pretty much we have 8 weeks represented. It's just a very diverse field, and if you're looking to pick a winner, look at anyone, because we've had 12 winners in the last 14 races. It's just an incredible group of talented drivers.
All right, well, Tim, we'll let you get back to it. About 3 minutes left here till green flag time. We'll let you get back there and get all sorted out. But thanks for a few words, and good luck. We'll be rooting for you in that 088 machine. Keep that thing out of trouble.
Will do. Hopefully I'll talk to you at the end also.
All right, buddy. Tim Todd, the 088, coming in tonight, the point leader. 25 points over Johnny Chapman Jr. You know, you can't imagine Tim's strategy is going to be get that thing in a safe place and, you know, keep all the fenders on it and bring that thing home in one piece.
Well, you know just as well as I do, Talladega Superspeedway is a high-speed chess match, Phil. Anything can happen. You're always looking around every corner for that big one, and if he's involved in one of them and ends up 37th, all John Chapman Jr. has to do is make sure he finishes inside that top 5 or even the top 10, and he could bring home the championship here this evening. Going to have to see what's going to happen, what's going to unfold here. I'm sure there's going to be 3 and 4 wide. I'm going to promise you 3 and 4 wide, because we've seen 3 and 4 wide each and every time we've raced here, or actually broadcasted and raced here, Phil.
Yeah, I think you're going to see, mandatory, you're going to see 3 wide racing. If the action here, we've both been over here this season and took part in this Tally Challenge. It's 3 wide almost all night long, and I bet you we're going to see many instances of 4 wide racing here. It's going to be a spectacular night at the Talladega Superspeedway for the season finale of the MSR Tally Challenge. But first, we're about a minute and a half away from putting these things onto the grid, so real quick, I'm going to throw it down to Rich in the booth here for a quick word and shout out to our sponsors, and thank you for getting us here this evening.
Yeah, most definitely, guys. We would not be doing this without RollingThunderGaming.com, also known as RTG. These are the guys that put this together. RTG is a great group of game players over there. They've got several different race leagues that race out of the RTG house, along with a couple other gaming stuff that they got going on when, you know, the racing do something else other than get behind the wheel. So, looking for something to do gaming-wise and obviously racing, get a hold of them at RTG, RollingThunderGaming.com. Great group of guys. Also, big hats off to Midwest Sim Racing, also known as MSR. They're coming out of the RollingThunderGaming.com house, or the RTG house. This is their league, MSR's league, running tonight. MSR is also sponsoring this event tonight for the Tally Challenge Series finale. So, good group of guys, and you guys are about to see how these guys do handle the door. Big hats off to the MSR Series Talladega Challenge. They run this race every Thursday night. It's always the same track. It's usually the same damage, the same length. It's basically a local track series, and these guys constantly race it against each other. So, very competitive, super speedway drafting tracks, a lot of fun to get involved with. Also, we cannot forget Dave over at NRT Game Servers. If you're looking for a web server or a game server for your league or whatever you got going on with your clans and whatnot, get a hold of Dave over at NRT Servers, and he'll get you hooked up with all the tools that you need to get your league up and running. Also, big shout out to ourselves, of course, DRTV, Sim Racing Television at its finest. If you're looking to get your league out on YouTube Live, go ahead and get in touch with us over at drlracing.com. Once again, that's drlracing.com. You want to get your league put on live TV, we're willing to do it for you and showcase everything that your league has got. Just go ahead and get a hold of us over there, and we'll make it happen for you guys. And back up to the booth to Phil and Todd. Guys, we are in for one heck of a show tonight, I think.
I think you're absolutely right. It's going to be a barn burner race. Now, the season finale here tonight, Todd. A little bit of different strategy for these guys. Customarily, all season long, these are 66 lap races at Talladega. Tonight, 76 laps distance. How much more of a strategy factor do you think that's going to play in? One extra pit stop, or you think it's not going to change too much?
It's probably not going to change a whole whale of a lot. There's going to be a couple of different changes, probably strategy-wise, fuel-wise. Probably going to turn into a fuel mileage race. If we go green flag the whole distance, you're going to see a lot of guys gamble on fuel, gamble on tires. Tires don't usually wear out as fast at the Talladega Superspeedway, Phil.
Drivers, to your cars.
Well, we have a lot of strategy plays we'll have to watch here tonight, and I think the most important thing, if this thing, like we've seen all week long, green flag racing over here at RTG, and no doubt the MSR Tally Challenge, these guys have all the experience in the world doing this week after week here. I think we're going to see a couple of rounds of green flag pit stops, and it's going to be a prime thing to get down there, get onto pit road clean, on and off, no issues, hit your pit stall right, no issues on pit road, and I think that's going to be the name of the game tonight. Hit your marks on pit road and come out clean and clean. Todd, I believe these cars are out on the grid. We're probably about 15 seconds away from the command to give engines. So let's jump right straight into the starting lineup.
And now your starting lineup for the Tally Challenge season finale here live on DRTV. Driver out of Moundsville, West Virginia, Chuck McClure driving the 017. He starts on the pole. Outside of him, outside pole, Louisville, Kentucky native, Josh Metallic driving the 39.
Inside row number 2, third starting position will be car number 128. That's the Texaco Haviland Ford for George Hotafilax. On the outside, car number 103, that's Carson Krenz.
Starting inside row number 3, that's the 08, that's Chris Robin, currently third in the points standings. And outside of him, that's the Slingshot, the number 12, Gary Mingus.
The Looney Tunes Chevrolet is going to roll up from 7th position tonight. That's car number 80, that being Jeff Crivello. On the outside in car number 046, 8th starter, that's Mike Scott.
Your current points leader in the series here, the 088 of Tim Noska rolls off in that 9th starting position. And outside of him, the 07 of Rick Moon.
Chris Hotafilax is going to roll off from the 11th position tonight in car number 112. On the outside of row number 6, 12th starter in car number 89, that's Paul Wolf.
Fresh off a second place finish the other night, driving the number 14, that's Brian Schilling. And outside of him, starting in the 14th starting position, that's Brian Bell.
15th starter tonight behind car number 20, that's Wiley Cody. On the outside of row number 6 in the 16th starting position is car number 18, that's David Lawson.
Next row back, starting in the 17th position, that's the Nature Boy, the driver of the number 77, that's Donnie Garrett, and his dancing partner to the outside, that's the number 59 of Herman Reese.
Tony Brent's going to roll off tonight from 19th starting position in car number 82, and from Willimantic, Connecticut, on the outside of row number 10 in car number 10, that's Terry Bombard.
Next row back, starting in the 21st position, that's the 115 of Sean Lockyer, and outside of him is the 41 of Brian Ho.
Car number 096 will start off in the 23rd position. The 096 driver is Ricky Leduc. On the outside of row number 12, 24th starter in car number 73, that's Ron Larkin Jr.
Driving the number 95, that's Dave Earlyvine, and second in points, driving the 108 tonight, that's John Chapman Jr.
Your Aero 88 Challenger Series champion will roll off from 27th starting position tonight. That's car number 33. That's Tony Fox. On the outside, 28th starter. In the 66, that's Larry Yeager.
Next row back to 075, that's Jason Klein and Cy Jones. And then we got Stevie Minson, David Day. Green flag is out as we did not get through the whole entire lineup for one of the first times here on DRTV. The loud pedal is down and Chuck McClure takes the early lead going into one.
Yeah, running at the field, we had Stevie Minson, TJ Hagler, Hank Middleton, David Day, Steve Looney, Derek Justice, and Jason Scheck. That was the remainder of your 37-car starting field. Cars are off of turn number 2 for the first time and down that long. Chuck McClure has the field in tow on the inside line in the 017. He's got a challenger, Josh Metallic, to his outside as hit turn 3.
Yeah, Josh Metallic running running the top side of the speedway, and that number 39, the 08 of Chris Robbins, running in the middle groove, already going 3 wide this early on in the going, Phil. The 017 of Chuck McClure working over the bottom side, but the 39 of Josh Metallic working way up top. We're still 3 wide, and it's going to be a 3 wide battle for the lead. Chris Robbins stuck in the sucker hole with the 00.
Chris Robbins in that 08 car in that sucker hole. Turn number 1. Chuck McClure out to the race lead with help from George Hotafelax and point leader Tim Nosker down on the inside of the 08. He's broke that up to the 3rd position as they exit turn number 4. Chris Hotafelax has moved the 112 up to that 4th position. Races for 5th between Josh Metallic and Tim Nosker up on that high side. Here comes Metallic. He's up to 3rd. He's up to 2nd as they hit turn 3.
Yeah, Metallic trying to get around the number 128 of George Hotafelax. Hotafelax has 2 wins on this season. One of the only two drivers that have 2 wins, and many other drivers just have 1 win in this series. That shows you how competitive this Tally Challenge is here.
It's super competitive here as we're going to put lap number 2 up on the board this time around. Chuck McClure, your pole sitter. Lap 3 on the board, rather. Chuck McClure, the race leader. George Hotafelax in that lone lane. They've broken away for 2nd. The race for 3rd is between Tim Nosker down low and Chris Robbins, or Josh Metallic, rather, up high in the 39. He's got a dancing partner behind him. Carson Krenz trying to shove the line, Todd. He'll make their way to 2nd. They'll look for the race lead as they hit turn 3.
Yeah, holding some momentum. We're not 3 wide, no, we're only 2 wide, but 3 wide will come later, more later in this event. It's the 39 of Josh Metallic trying to work over the 128 of George Hotafelax. Hotafelax working over the bottom side, following the 017 of Chuck McClure up front. 3rd line starting to form once again. Not sure who that's being led by, Phil, but it's moving pretty quick up top.
Yeah, 3rd line trying to come in there. Can't really see from the vantage point who that may be. I believe that may be David Lawson in the number 18 trying to work up 3 wide. And also Rick Moon. It's Rick Moon in the 07. He's leading that train on the high side, trying to get his way around the Carson Krenz machine. Can't make that work. They'll fall back into 2 wide as they hit turn 3.
Yeah, now back to 3 wide. They're still working pretty much 3 wide down the back straightaway. Rick Moon working up almost against the wall. That 07 machine. Rick Moon had some mechanical issues last night. Hopefully not going to have the same issue. It looks like the number 017 still leading the race. Not sure what's going on here with some of these guys. They're going 3 and 4 wide. It's hard to keep track of these guys at the Talladega Super Speedway.
It really is, Todd. I guess to all of our viewers out there tonight, a picture is worth 1,000 words, because when these things are 3 and sometimes 4 wide, the action gets fast and furious up there. I was running around with Rick Moon, who was pulling that outside lane. He's been sucker punched all the way back to about that 16th position as Stevie Mintz in the 196. He's trying to get that 3rd line working up there. That's around for about the 10th position, Todd, as they hit turn 3.
Yeah, I'm right now. The driver of the 112, Chris Hotafelax, trying to work over the 08 machine. I believe that's Chris Robbins. Chris Robbins in the 08. He's working on the bottom side of the speedway, sticking right to his guns behind the 088 of Tim Nosker. Nosker doing everything he can right now to stay up towards the front. He does not want to be in the middle of the pack, because chances are something's going to happen in the middle of the pack. If something's going to go down and you're going to get into the big one, usually it's in the middle of the pack, Phil.
Usually is, and you may see a race for the lead here. George Hotafelax, he broke his Ford up to that high lane out of 2nd position. Now he's going to fall under fire from Tim Nosker in that 088. They're going to be 2 wide down the backstretch. That 3rd line is forming on the high side, but a race for the lead, Todd. Here comes George Hotafelax for the race lead as they hit turn 3.
George Hotafelax has some heavy help from the 112 of Chris Hotafelax. They're working well together here this evening. Hotafelax pulling up alongside the 017 of Chuck McClure. Been the race leader since lap 1 in that 017 machine, but George Hotafelax trying to be able to beat him back to the line in that 128 machine. Looks like he might be able to do so here through the tri-oval. He's just going to barely nip him back to the line, I believe. No, yeah, he did get him back to the line. Scoring and timing a little slow on my end, but the 128 of George Hotafelax that time led that lap around the 017 of Chuck McClure, but McClure back down to the bottom side, down the back straightaway.
Hot and heavy here through the first 8 circuits around the Talladega Super Speedway for this MSR Tally Challenge. Outside, Todd, looks to be the place to be as George Hotafelax, with help from brother Chris right behind him, been able to break out toward the race lead. can't complete that pass once they get to the entrance of turn number 3 as Chuck McClure and Tim Dosker start making up that run on the inside line. But as we've seen here customarily at Talladega many times, that outside line from all the way off of turn number 4 all the way into the back straightaway toward turn number 3 seems to be the fast way around, as it looks like George has been able to clear that Chuck McClure machine. But Chris in that 112 right behind, he cannot clear that 017 car. Now we're racing off of turn 2. But before we get to that, we're going to throw it down to the booth for our first DRTV driver spotlight of the night. I believe it's race leader George Hautefilex.
Yeah, most definitely watching the actually starting tonight in third. Highest position is first. Lowest position is 13th. So he's been through the field since the scene. He is probably a race leader, but he is definitely under fire from that low line, guys. So far, his personal best lap of the race is a 48.348.
All right, well, they worked their way through the tri-oval. 3 wide for the race lead. Chuck McClure down low. George Hautefilex in the middle. And new race line will be Carson Krenz in that 103 with a big push from Stevie Minson in the 196. An incredible run for Minson, Todd. He started way back in that 31st position. He's found himself with the ranks of the top 5 as they head down the back straightaway.
Yeah, the ranks of the top 5 going to be short-lived there momentarily, as the 103 of Carson Krenz was the leader when you got to talk about it, but it changes that quick as 017 of Chuck McClure back to the lead with 088. Tim Nosker running in that second spot. Still 3 wide battle for that third spot. It's between the 08 of Chris Robbins. Lap traffic starting to come up here. Looks like I'm not sure who's right there in front of him. They're going to have to go 4 wide to get by the lap car here coming through the tri-oval. Looks to be the 51 machine. We're going to have to look to see who the 51 machine is. That's TJ Hagler in the 51 machine. Down 1 lap early on in the going here at the Talladega Super Speedway. Tough break for TJ Hagler.
Yeah, tough break. Now that may put him 2 laps in the rear as they work down the back straightaway. Still 2 wide between Chuck McClure and George Hautefilex at 128. That outside, Todd, has not given up. Carson Krenz pulling that train with help from Stevie Minson right there. And also, I believe that car on the outside may be the David Day machine. David Day up to the top 10. So 3 wide, back as they hit turn 4.
Yeah, I've been watching Donnie Garrett in the 77 machine. He's working his way up silently on the bottom side right now in the midst of a 3 wide battle. There, 77 is come up through. Now he's in that 5th spot. 77. Donnie Garrett, the nature boy, now in that 6th spot in the 77 machine. There's still 3 wide battle for that 7th spot. The number 89 now, Paul Wolf, is moving up through the field. Looks like the guys down on the bottom side, Phil, starting to make way. These guys in the middle and top group starting to fall back.
Yeah, middle and top has begun to fall back. Carson Krenz has lost a lot of ground. And also that middle lane with George Hautefilex, they've fallen back. George has a new helper in front of him, that being Paul Wolf in the 89. They've dropped all the way back to the 6th position. Look like that top 5 has broken out as they exit turn 4. They're going to put lap number 12 on the board this time, that being Donnie Garrett. Wiley Cody in the number 20, he's up there. Brian Schilling, Chris Robbins, he's currently 3rd. Tim Dosker, and of course your race leader is Chuck McClure as they hit turn 1. Looks like, Todd, maybe a 4-car breakaway from an inside pack. First car working up high is Paul Wolf in the 89. He's alongside the 20 of Wiley Cody down the back straightaway.
Yeah, Paul Wolf trying to pull that line in that number 89 machine, trying to be able to pull it. Looks like another car going to the high side. Looks to be trying to track him down here. Looks to be the number 25 of Brian Bell. Brian Bell trying to get that 3rd groove motoring around. Only got help up there from one other car. That might not be a very good move right now. It's the 25 of Brian Bell. Looks like that's going to be like hitting a wall, Phil. It's going to be, you go up to the top, you're hitting a wall when you only got one other car. You got 7, 8, 10 cars down below you, and these guys are just Brian Bell. So that was not a very good move on the 25's part, but later on in the going, maybe he's just trying to get some strength. Brian Bell will be able to do later on in the going.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on at 25, no doubt. All 36 cars on the lead lap are all part of this lead draft. From 1st place, Chuck McClure, on to 36th place, Cy Jones in that number 7. It's 2.5 seconds between the 1st and that 36th position. The race for the lead is in turns number 3 and 4. outside line seems to be the way of the land. Under attack is Chuck McClure in that 017. He's got Paul Wolf to his outside. Move that 89 machine up to the race lead as they exit turn 4.
Paul Wolf is going to lead him back to the line with George Harlow Felix running in that second spot. The 017 of Chuck McClure is third. Fourth is the 112 of Chris Harlow Felix. Tim Nosker drops back to that fifth spot. Stevie Minson from 31st to 6th in that 196. Seventh is the 39 of Josh Metallic. Eighth of Chris Robbins. Derek Justice is ninth in that 021 machine. And rounding out your top 10 right now, Phil, is the number 5, Mr. Excitement, David Day. Started deep in the field, and David Day up to 10th.
Big run for the race. Vincent with help from Derek Justice and David Day, maybe to shoot that Hooter Chevrolet from that high limb. 31st to maybe the race lead as they exit turn number 4. Stevie Vincent on the outside, Paul Wolf in the middle as they exit the corner down to the triangle. Maybe Todd, just maybe side by side. Stevie Vincent's going to get the race lead.
It shows you how many times the lead changes around the Talladega Superspeedway. That time at the line was Stevie Minson, not by much, .007. Stevie Minson led that lap by over Chuck McClure. Looks like a little bit of warp side from the 088 of Tim Nosker. That's not good signs. Going down the back straightaway, Nosker now evening out down on the bottom side. He is still pushing the 017 of Chuck McClure. Looks like he's glued to his rear bumper, trying to stay up front. Paul Wolf now moving back down into the middle side. Again, with the number 89 machine, Wolf trying to cut between the 196 and 017 of Chuck McClure.
Yeah, we'll see if he can't make that work as they're 3 wide for second place on back. Stevie Minson's got that 196 broken out to about a car length lead on that outside. He has a pusher in the form of Derek Justice. Top 2 may clear them bottom 2 lines, but they're forming back up. Here comes that bottom line led by Chuck McClure as they hit turn 1.
Yeah, bottom line, Phil, you have to check up quite a bit on that bottom line. You know just as well as I do, around the Talladega Superspeedway many of times. Looks like a car diving down back, going to the back of the pack. Not sure, trying to catch up with who that guy is that's diving back to the pack. And maybe you see it looks like Tim Nosker in the 088 machine. Nosker went down to the apron in the 088 machine, so Nosker now dropping all the way back through the field.
Yeah, I believe Tim Nosker may have had a little bit of connection warp there. He was moving from side to side. I think that may be just a move to get him out of trouble. As pit road may be on pit road, I believe second in points, Todd, Johnny Chapman Jr. Is that correct? Is he on the pit lane?
Yeah, second in points, Johnny Chapman Jr. down pit road driving that 108 machine. He's in his pit stall. He slid through his pit stall in that 108 machine. Johnny Chapman Jr. sliding through his pit stall. Costly mistake. Right side tires going on the 108 machine. Left side tires now going on the 108 of Johnny Chapman Jr. He's getting ready to pull out of his pit stall. He is down and away.
Now, viewers, on your screen now, you're going to see what we call the DRTV punt cam. That was one of these things that was coined here, the NRT punt cam, rather. You're going to see these guys off the gas pedal onto pit road. I believe you may see a few takers this time by as they're going to be lap 18, 2 more guys onto the pit lane. Now, the reason that has been framed the NRT punt cam is you're going to see if anybody gets run over on TV, they've called that who's getting punted next. So we're going to take an eye on that. Rich will have that on the screen every time somebody's ready to come to pit road. And that'll be one of the many things that we look at here at Talladega as this lead pack from first to about 30th position is separated by under 1.5 seconds. That's going to make some crazy, hairy situations as they head to pit road here under the green flag, approaching the 1/4 mark. 18 laps of 76 in the books. The race for the lead, Todd, is in turn 3 as we keep one eye to the pit lane.
Yeah, I was watching the 33 of Tony Fox. Tony Fox made it down onto pit road, but then he hit the inside pit wall as he was going down. Looked like he got a little hot in there, hit the brakes, and just slammed that inside pit wall in that 33 machine. Tony Fox, tough break for him. That's going to be a tough one. It's not clean. There's a lot of cars out there merging now. Laps down on them. The leaders are getting around those guys that have been pissed off. Tires.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of 4 tires as they exit pit lane. We'll keep an eye on the majority of the leaders here. I'm looking at race leader David Day, the 196 of Stevie Minson, who we've seen here had a fuel mileage play. Go rely on him a few minutes ago at the Michigan International Speedway. But we're going to keep our eye on pit road. I believe we may see the race leader David Day, the number 5. I believe he may be one of the first ones here to peel off the banking, as well as Stevie Minson, hard on the brakes down to that 55 miles per hour speed limit is the number 5 of David Day. Hard on the binders, contact around there, contact as they get on the pit road, a few cars around. I'm in the 5 camp. David Day's hit his pit sign absolutely beautifully. Right side tires in the air in his Dodge. Right side tires in the number 5. We'll see if they swing around to the left sides. Looks like 2 tires. 2 tires to number 5, waiting for the fuel. Waiting for the 5. He's down and away, Todd.
I was down in the 196 of Stevie Minson. Stevie Minson took 4 tires, 2 takes of Sunoco Racing Field, and he was down and away.
Trying to scan up and down pit road to see if more names have found their way to pit lane. Chris Harder, Felix is on pit road. I believe I've seen right side tires to the 112. Now we have more takers off of turn number 4. Punt camp definitely busy. We're seeing guys like the 87, like Josh Patalik, the 39. They're all clean getting on the pit road. I'm in the 39 camp waiting for Josh Patalik to go to hit his pit sign. As it looks like there may have been incidents getting off of pit road. The 112 of Chris Harder Felix has gone around. Green flag is still in the air. Waiting on the 39. He's going to creep all the way down to the end of pit lane. He's going to hit his sign. We'll see what the strategy play will be in the 39 camp. That Chevrolet has right side tires in the air. Right side tires to the 39. We'll see if maybe they swing around for 4. Are they going to stick the way of the lane here? I've seen these last 2 rounds is 2 tires. It's going to be right sides only for Josh Patalik. Flooring the gas pedal, waiting for the jack to go down. He's down and away.
Yeah, I was down in the number 10 of Terry Bombard's pit. I haven't talked much about Terry Bombard, but Bombard was down in his pit stall. He got 2 tires, also 2 right side tires, but he was down in the way a little bit quicker than the 39 of Josh Metallic.
So we'll wait for this field to cycle through here as the race is in turn number 2, and now down the back straightaway. Race leader last time by was Terry Bombard, the number 10, but of course we've seen him and Josh Metallic cycle on the pit road. Hard to tell from here who may have won that initial race off the pit lane. See if we can't scan back up through the field and find the race leader. It looks like Todd Chuck McClure in the 017 may have been the first one that's going to lead that race off pit road. He has Jeff Crivello behind him as they exit turn 4. We'll wait for timing and scoring to break out. I may see another, I think I see another 3-car pack being led by George Harder-Felix. He may have the race lead. In fact, he does in that 128. George Harder-Felix, David Day, Derek Justice, Stevie Minson, and Brian Bell. Them top 5 guys have broken away, Todd, as they exit turn 2.
Yeah, Chuck McClure leading the second pack with Jeff Crivello, Jason Klein in the 075, the 14 of Brian Schilling, Wiley Cote in the number 20 machine. He is 10th. 11th is Hank Middleton. He is another guy in that pack. Also, your second place in points, the number 108 machine of John Chapman Jr. He is also in the second pack, trying to scan down through, looking for where the 088 of Tim Nosker came out. Tim Nosker came out 18th position right now. So you've got the second place in points. In 12th, you've got first place in 18th, Phil. So Tim Nosker, not a very good pit stop for the 088 machine.
No, we saw him go back and duck back into the tail end of that lead pack, and issues on pit road have put Tim in that 18th position, over 3 seconds behind the race lead. Them top 5 have broken out, but there's a second pack being led by Chuck McClure. They were 2 seconds back last time by. They chopped that to 1.5 seconds, and they're gaining on that front 5 car. This front 5 may become about 22 as they hit turn 3.
Yeah, it's looking like we're going to have that second pack catch them up because they're starting to stay in line. None of these guys really shifting out of line. But when Chuck McClure comes, he's got a whole gaggle of cars right behind him. They should be able to motor around this pack in front of them if they can get around the top side or the bottom side. But you're going to see a lot of them guys as soon as that second pack hits the first pack. As soon as that second pack hits that first pack, they're going to probably file out all over the place. They're probably going to go high, low, and through the middle, trying to make up some positions here on the track. Still watching David Day. David Day still running right there behind George Harder-Felix.
Chuck McClure leading that second pack has caught that front 5. He's making waves now up through that group. He's around the Derek Justice machine. He's got his sights set on David Day and race leader George Harder-Felix. First car up in that high lane is Brian Bell. He was able to break that draft off that top 5 and hook on to Chuck McClure. He may get shot to the race lead as they exit turn 4 to put lap 25 on the board.
Fantastic move by the number 25 of Brian Bell. He was running on the bottom side in that first group there, and then as soon as he seen them guys coming in hot and heavy, he moved up in front of them, and now they're propelling Brian Bell up to that second spot in that number 25. There's 17 cars in this lead pack, so it's going to be a nice battle here going on for these top spots, Phil. It's the 25 of Brian Bell over in that second spot. Now moving up to the first spot, Brian Bell trying to get around the 128 of George Harder Felix, and he's going to be able to do so with the push from the 017 of Chuck McClure.
Yeah, Chuck McClure gave him a good shove down the back straightaway. Harder Felix in that 128 was able to make that charge in that low side hit. Able to stay in that throttle maybe a little bit longer. The shorter way around, of course, is an inside line. He's got help from David Day and Derek Justice in that 021 right behind him. 3 cars on the inside line. George is going to lead last time this inside line. Lap 26, we're 1/3 the way home. We'll see if we can't maybe give you a full field rundown. At lap 26, George Harder Felix is your race leader, followed by David Day, Brian Bell, Derek Justice, Chuck McClure. That is your Stevie Vincent 6th, Jeff Corbello 7th, Jesse Klein is 8th, Wiley Cody's 9th, Brian Schilling is up to 10th, Hank Middleton 11th, Johnny Chapman Jr. 12th, Josh Metallics 13th, Terry Bombard 14th, Jason Scheck is 15th, 16th through 20 you find the Nature Boy Donnie Garrett, Paul Wolf, Chris Robin, Ron Larkin Jr. is 20th, 21st is Dave Earlywine, Herman Reese 22nd, Sean Lockyer 23rd, Tony Fox 24th, and David Lawson is your top 25. Tony Frank, Gary Mingus, Larry Yeager, George, Chris Hunterfield, Carson Krenz, that's your top 30. Steve Looney, Rick Moon, and Cy Jones, 33 cars in the racetrack, 1 lap down. 34th is Ricky LeDuc. Mike Scott's also 1 lap down, 35th. Ryan Holmes, 36th. And running 37th last on the field is TJ Hagler, 2 laps down. That is your full field rundown at the 1/3 mark as Todd gave a race for the lead as they hit turn 3.
Yeah, momentarily we had a race for the lead. It looked like the number 25 machine was trying to get up in front of the 196, but then David Day threw a block on him. He finally got around him in the number 25 machine. Now he's up to the 3rd spot, and now Derek Justice is starting to lead this event now. He is the leader, the 121 of Derek Justice with Stevie Vincent running in that 2nd spot. 3rd is Brian Bell in the 25, and 4th is the 017 of Chuck McClure. These guys working over the top side. Bottom group trying to start to form down there, and with David Day pushing the 128 of George Harder Felix. Now we're going to go 3 wide. Another group forming way on the bottom side down the back straightaway.
Yeah, 2 and fanning out 3 wide. Contact to the middle stages. Guys got their hands full as they hit lap traffic into turn number 3, putting 1 more car a lap in the rears. Derek Justice is your race leader, but lap traffic is playing a role here as they're running down another car here as a few guys have lost this lead pack. This lead pack is currently consisted of 17 cars, and a second pack is formed from 18th on back. That has 9 cars in it, and another pack being led by Gary Mingus. That's another 6-car back. Gary's back in the 27th position. They are single file for the race lead off of turn number 2, but they're 2 wide for 3rd on back, Todd, as they head the back straightaway.
Yeah, they're still all chasing Derek Justice aboard that 021 machine. These guys starting to fan out, starting to make different position gains. It looks like a battle for that 4th spot's going to come up forward. Here comes Brian Bell now down to the inside. Brian Bell in that number 25 machine trying to work over Derek Justice. He didn't want to stay in 3rd so long. Brian Bell now side by side with Derek Justice coming down through the tri-oval. Who's going to lead this lap? Brian Bell down on the inside. Derek Justice on the top side. Yeah,
Stevie Vincent's pushing that outside line. Jesse Klein's the first car down low, pushing the inside line in that 075. Give the lead to Derek Justice last time by at the line as they hit turn 1. Here comes that inside line. Here comes Brian Bell. He's going to pull alongside. They're going to drag race down the backstretch. Give it to Derek Justice. Here comes Stevie Vincent on the outside. And now Chuck McClure's going to battle for 2nd as they hit turn 3.
Yeah, Brian Bell still trying to work over the bottom side. Chuck McClure sitting in the middle side right now. Oh, Jesse Klein down on the bottom side, pushing the 25 of Brian Bell. Jesse Klein has had a win on the season here in the MSR Tally Challenge, and he's one of these guys that's familiar to victory lane, and he's one of the guys that knows how to get around the Talladega Super Speedway.
So we're 30 laps in, approaching the halfway Speedway break. Eric Justin, the race leader, the first time tonight. I want to make a shout out to the YouTube chat box. Everybody in there, give us a shout out. Tell us what you're thinking of the racing so far. What is your early predictions for this race? Are we going to go caution free all 76 laps? We've been clean and green here through the first 31 circuits. It's been a whale of a race. 2, 3, and sometimes 4 wide around this Talladega Super Speedway. So our first challenge tonight, YouTube chat box, light it up. Tell us what's going on. They're racing for the race lead as they hit turn number 4. Derek Justice, your race lead, but I'm going to throw it down to Rich down in the DRTV control booth with the DRTV driver spotlight.
Yeah, most definitely got our eyes on the 017, the 017 of Chuck McClure. He's led 14 laps today. He was your pole sitter starting in this race event tonight. Highest of was first. Lowest tonight was 16th, probably cycling through pits. Currently is your leader at that time by. So now he's going to get 15 of 31 laps led so far, guys. Right now, he seems to be the muscle on the track.
So far, so good in the 017 camp of Chuck McClure. He put it on the pole tonight. He's led a lot of this race early, and once again there was the race leader on lap number 32. He has 1 win on the season here at the MSR Tally Challenge. I believe, Todd, we've seen 12 different winners over the fact of this season.
Yeah, the only guys that have 2 wins on the season, Sean Prime, who I believe is not in the field here this evening. Also, George Harta Felix has 2 wins on the season. 12 different winners in the field. We got Chuck McClure, Donnie Garrett, a winner. Tim Nosker, John Chapman Jr., also a winner this season. Paul Wolf. We're almost 4 wide there for 3rd spot. We're still 3 wide. 3 wide battle for the lead, Phil.
3 wide for the lead. Chuck McClure down low. Derek Justice in that middle, and George Harta Felix in the outside lane, who I believe was able to propel his way to the race lead last time by. He has Mr. Excitement David Day pushing on the outside. Stevie Vinson's that second car in the middle, pushing Derek Justice 3 wide for the race lead. Chuck McClure trying to lead that bottom line with help of Brian Bell off of turn number 4.
Yeah, these guys are door handle to door handle down into the tri-oval. Looks like the number 128 of George Harta Felix going to lead down. No, maybe not. Chuck McClure's going to edge him out at the line. So look how close that was, a battle. Chuck McClure on our screen, 0.018, and Derek Justice, 0.019. Wow, look how close these guys are around the Talladega Super Speedway. 3 and 4 wide, and still 3 wide battle for the 3rd spot. Chuck McClure right now has the handle on the bottom side, but these guys just firing back between the middle group and the top group. Harta Felix working the top group with that 128 machine.
Yeah, George is working the high lane, almost back to 2 wide up in the front. Now they're going to split back to 3 wide. Derek Justice is going to fill that middle lane underneath that David Day machine. And down low, we see Donnie Garrett in the 077. Top 3 or 4 cars have sprinkled out amongst themselves at the low side of the field here as that middle lane has fallen back to the clutches of George Harta Felix. Chuck McClure is your race leader last time by at lap 35. He's got Brian Bell, Wiley Cody. Hank Middleton's up the 4th, and a great run for him. And the Nature Boy, Donnie Garrett, he's penetrated the top 5. Todd is exit turn 2. They're 3 wide for 6th on back.
Yeah, they're starting to battle it out here. Some of them starting to go single file. We're a few laps away from pit stop. NRT Punt Cam is up and ready to catch all the action down on pit road. We're about anyways between 2 to 5 laps away from pit stops. You might see a couple of these guys. Here comes the number 20, a Wiley Cote down onto the pit road. The number 20 machine blowing it down. Looks like he's going to get it down to 55 miles an hour. First guys down on pit road, Phil.
Yeah, we'll see what the strategy for the 20 is. Wiley Cody, he was up into the top 5 in that number 20. He's brought the Dodge down to the attention of his pit crew, 55 miles per hour. He's hit the pit side perfectly, and it's going to be just a left side tire stop. Left sides are up in the air for Wiley Cody in that number 20. Left sides are down, waiting on the fuel. Seems like waiting all day on the fuel. Waiting. They're going to disengage the can, and the 20 car is down and away.
Derek Justice in the 021 machine now to the lead to get around the 017 and Chuck McClure. All these guys getting ready to come down pit road. Not sure who's going to come down pit road this time by. We got another car coming down pit road, Phil. Battle up front still with the 021 of Derek Justice. He is his leader. So Chuck McClure is still working over the bottom side. Going to have to see what he can do. come pit time here, so these guys 2 and 3 wide sometimes coming down pit road.
2 and 3 wide as they stand off of turn number 4, getting ready to make that most important pit stop here. The second under the green flag here, just at the halfway mark. We're monitoring the race chatter, waiting to see who may be next coming to the pit lane. I believe Johnny Chapman Jr. second in points to that 108. He was 12th and he pitted out of that lead pack. Now we're going to turn our attention to pit road, as it looks like a few more cars ready to sprinkle off the banking. First one I see in the race chatter coming up is the 33 of Tony Fox. He's on the brakes down to 50, down at 55 miles per hour. You see them rolling by on the punt cam. Also looks like the 115 of Sean Lockyer is in as well. Tony Fox, the 33 can't. They've got the pit sign out. Tony makes the left-hand turn. He's on the sign. Let's see what the strategy is for that Reese's Chevrolet. He's got right side tires up on that number 33. It's right side tires for Tony Fox. We'll see if they come around the 4 tires for them 2 cans of fuel. Nope, just a 2-tire stop, revving the engine, waiting on the fuel to be completed, waiting for the go sign. Fuel is disengaged, the 33 is down the way, 2 tires there. Now it looks like it was left side tires. Well, that's Sean Lockyer, number 15 machine. As race leaders, Todd, have bailed off the banking on pit road.
Yeah, the 196 of Stevie Minson coming down pit road. Clean pit stop. He's down, coming down pit road. Looks like he's getting right side tires in the 196 machine. Right side tires going on. Looks like it's going to be a 2-tire pit stop on the 196. Nope, going to take 4 tires on the 196. Stevie Minson, one of them field saving specialists in the 196 machine. He is down in the way, rolling down pit road, Phil.
I've got another pack that is peeled off the banking. I'm down in the 112 pits of Chris Artefelax, that Coca-Cola Chevrolet, 55 miles per hour down the pit lane. He's making the hard left-hand turn on the pit sign. Just beautifully, no issues there. Right side tires in the air on that 112 of Chris Artefelax. Right side tires, waiting for the jack to drop on that. We'll see if they come around, maybe take 4. Left sides are in the air, so it's going to be a 4-tire stop for the Coca-Cola Chevrolet, as pit road, Todd, is feverishly busy. More cars in the end of your pit road.
Yeah, I'm watching the 39 of Josh Metallic. He's got a long way to come down pit road. He qualified the outside pole in that number 39 machine. Josh Metallic still working his way down pit road. Long way down pit road at 55 miles an hour when you're coming off the bank for 191 miles an hour. Right side tires going on the number 39 of Josh Metallic. Looks like we're going to have to see if he takes left side tires. Not sure, don't see the jack man over there. Looks like they're only going to take right side tires and fuel, and he's going to be down in the way, Josh Metallic.
Looking for pit road here. You'll see the 77 of Donnie Garrett and the 89 of Tony Fox. They come screaming past that the NRT front cam. I'm in the Donnie Garrett pit, waiting for that Dodge to hit his marks on the pit lane. He qualified up near the front of the field this evening. It's a long trek, 55 miles per hour down pit road. The 77 sees his sign. He makes that left-hand turn. We'll see right side tires in the air for Donnie Garrett, the Nature Boy. Right side tires. 2 cans of fuel in. Waiting for the right side. Right sides are down. Will they come over to left sides? Nope, looks like it's going to be a right side tires. 2 tires for Donnie Garrett, Todd. He's full of fuel. He's down and away.
4 tires down in the number 89 of Paul Wolf's pit. He took 4 tires. He's down in the way. He's going to come out right behind the number 77 of Donnie Garrett. Those guys have been paired up all evening long. Same pit strategy for those 2, just different tire strategies.
Yeah, I saw 2 tires also for Mike Scott in the 046 and also the 07 of Rick Boone as we're working the second round of green flag pit stops. We're now past the halfway marker, working lap number 41. I believe all the race leaders now have cycled their way on and off the pit lane. We'll wait for timing and scoring to catch up here, Todd, but I believe our race leader, after the conclusion of the second round of pit stops, may be David Day in that number 5. The race for the lead is down the backstretch and heading toward turn 3.
Yeah, they're in heavy traffic. The number 5 of David Day, 4 wide through the speedway. David Day, I believe, is going to be the race leader when we come back to the green or the start-finish line. Going to have to see what David Day has, but Rick Ricky LeDuc in the 096 machine. He's running right there behind David Day. Haven't said much about him. I believe he's a couple laps down. He's 1 lap in the rear in the 096 machine. Now looking through timing and scoring, and indeed David Day is your current race leader with Derek Justice running second, third, the 128 of George Harder Felix, fourth, Josh Metallic, fifth, the 196 of Stevie Minson, sixth, the 77 of Donnie Garrett, seventh, the 80 of Jeff Cavello, eighth is the 89 of Paul Wolf, ninth, the 0000 of Jason Scheck, and 10th is the number 10 of Terry Bombard.
Yeah, rounding out that lead pack, looks like it's going to be 12 cars strong. Chuck McClure 11th and Brian Schilling 12th on number 14. They've cut out from the rest of the field. 2 cars in the rear behind them. Wiley Cody's 13th, Hank Middleton 14th. They're 2.5 seconds to the rears of this first pack. There's a pack behind them that's 5 seconds off the race lead, being led by point leader Tim Nosker and the 08 of Chris Robbins. They're 5 seconds back behind. They have enough ground between this big pack here that's running in that second pack. They're about 8 or 9 cars strong. You think maybe they can chase down this top dozen that are broken away?
I don't think they're going to be able to do that. I think they're going to have to hang out there in that second pack and hope for a yellow. Even with these guys racing, they're carrying a lot more speed in these cars in this first pack, so I don't think that second pack is going to be able to reel them in. They may prove me wrong. I've heard it once or twice here on DRTV where they have proved me wrong.
Now, Todd, if my math is correct, these guys are on pit road about lap number 40. Now, you see 76 laps. This is tonight, so that being 36 laps to go. So can we be looking at a perspective, maybe the next time on the pit lane, will be their final time down the pit road?
They're going to be pushing it for the final time down on pit road, but I think they might push it just a little bit. It might be a couple laps there. Again, some of these guys did pit on lap 16, some of them pitted on lap 17, so there's going to be different pit strategies throughout the field. But these guys in the lead, most of them did pit on lap 40, Phil, and I think the next time they come down pit road, that should be their final pit stop.
Looks like the race for the lead is hit turn number 3. David Day was your racer the last time by, but it looks like we've had a breakaway from the outside line. That looks to be the Paul Wolf machine of the 89. He's going to try to pull alongside for the race lead exiting turn 4.
Yeah, Paul Wolf looks like he's going to be able to pull into the lead in the 89 machine. Paul Wolf is going to lead it. 96 of Ricky LeDuc. LeDuc right now is showing on your screen as the leader, but he is 1 lap down.
Yeah, that first car in line is that 096 of Ricky LeDuc. He's that first car pulling them leaders around, as Todd said. 1 lap down, currently running in that 30th position there. Sorry, couldn't find him down on my screen as I had a freeze up here on my end. As yellow flag on the speedway, the first of the night here, just past the halfway mark, working lap number 45. Yellow flag in the air. Looks like the 075 and the 82 may be the 2 guys involved. So the first time tonight, Rich will have to go back in the DRTV control booth and find what happened to put us under the yellow flag. But Todd, I think you may have had a beat on what was happening there. What was your initial thoughts, and what do you see what happened there?
I just got the tail end of it, and I only seen those 2 cars spinning, and Brent looks like he has some damage to the 89 machine, 82 machine. Tony Brent looks like he has some rear damage on the 82. I did not be able to catch that, so we're going to have to see what happened. Rich is going to have that queued up and ready, Mr. TV Time himself. He'll have it queued up and ready with an awfully good explanation. He always has some kind of something up his sleeve. Richism, say it, or anything for that matter. Rich usually has some pretty good things to listen to, and I can't wait to hear what Rich has to say.
Now, Todd, looking up and down the standings here, we've seen a race up for the race lead, but who do you think the happiest guy on the speedway was to see that yellow flag?
I'm almost thinking the 088 of Tim Nosker. He was 15th. He was almost 5 seconds behind this lead pack, and I think Tim Nosker would be one of the happier guys to see this yellow flag come out, so that way he can catch this lead pack and be able to maybe pick up a win or pick up a top 5. He needs to make sure that he stays in front of the 108 machine of John Chapman Jr., but Chapman running in that 19th position in the 108. A lot of cars coming down pit road, Phil, now. Whole gaggle of cars, your leaders down and in.
Well, Todd, I tried to throw you a bone there. I believe the happiest guy to see that yellow flag was Ricky LeDuc, the 096. He was able to get his lap back the hard way when the yellow flag come out was in front of the race leader, so he gets to gain 2.66 miles of track position, put the 096 of Ricky LeDuc back on the lead lap, as I believe Rich is ready in the DRTV control booth. Rich, show us what happened and put us under yellow flag number 1.
Yeah, guys, we're going to watch the 82 and the 075. The 075 of Klein seemed like he may have come off the corner a little bit strong, was going to go outside, didn't have nowhere to go. He comes back down low and realizes he's in the back bumper. Somehow he let up, got a little loose. That's going to put him into the wall. That's going to send the 82 also around the 075 bounces off the wall. Of course, they start spinning down the track. Now, there's something else that's about to happen here that shows you just how class act these guys are. We're going to go ahead and pan this camera back out to a wider view to show you guys what really took place in full speed here. These guys both know they're up on the track. They know there's cars coming. They're trying to get out of their way, get down off the track so the other cars don't get messed up with them. Both of these cars are able to get back down on the apron before the rest of the pack came by them and cause more destruction out on this track. So tough break, doesn't look like too much damage, possibly some running moderate damage, but they're definitely going to have flat spotted tires now. And there was no Richisms I could throw at this one, but I'm still keeping my eyes open, guys.
Well, I hope Rich has his eyes open down there tonight, Todd. Don't want to see him falling asleep with maybe a sandwich in his hand or whatever it is. Rich has been known here during one of these races here as Todd and I carry the broadcast, and Rich runs that control booth down there. Rich has been known a time or two to throw a couple back down there, me get a sandwich or a nice little plate of chips or whatever you have it. So we like to make fun here on DRTV. Under the first caution flag of the night, we're working lap number 47. Race leaders, Todd, have majority-wise been on the pit lane, but I can't imagine we're going to see absolutely everybody come back in this time around to get that last little splash and go here. Is you're still going to be one pit stop from here, so I think these guys are going to want to squeeze every little bit they can on this, getting to that last pit stop. Is believe you may be seeing guys just on that gas and go, as I believe they're right on the fringes of making it on one more from here.
Yeah, Michael Scott coming down pit road in the 046 machine. He was out there just leading laps, trying to get some TV time. We do have about 30 laps to go. We do have 30 laps to go here at the Tally Challenge. They're going to have to be able to make one more pit stop here. We're right on the brink of that. So it's going to relinquish the lead. I believe that puts the 108 in the lead there, Phil. The 108 is John Chapman Jr., that second place in the points guy there. 89 of Paul Wolf is sitting second. Donnie Garrett is sitting third. Fourth is Derek Justice. Fifth is David Day. Sixth, the 017 of Chuck McClure. Seventh, the 80 of Jeff Crivello. Eighth is the 14 of Brian Schilling. Ninth, the 39 of Josh Metallic. George Hartle Felix rounds out your top 10 in that 128 machine, Phil. So looking up and down the field, it could be anybody's race here this evening, and we still got quite a few different drivers in earshot of everything. We're looking for trying to get to 128, I believe, with George Harder Felix on the radio.
Yeah, we're going to see if we can't get George Harder Felix squared away. George has had a great run out there tonight in that Texaco Haviland Ford. There we go. We see if we can get George on the radio. George, Phil Lacassam, DRTV, do you have a copy?
Yes, I do.
George having an awesome run out there behind the wheel of that 128 tonight. One of the few guys this year to have multiple wins in this Tally Challenge. You know, now I believe you're running back there, about the 10th position. What's that plan going to be behind that 128? Because you still got one more pit stop to make.
It's been the plan all night. So tonight I was going to race it real hard. So we're going to let it all out and see what we can do here. The plan now is just, getting position, track positions. Very, very key here. Gotta get with the right guys and pretty much, fight it out and get there at the end. Gotta get lucky too.
I think that is absolutely key, George. You got to get lucky too. But now I'm looking out there, an impressive driver roster here with this big field here tonight. You're going to need a dancing partner to get that thing up to the front. Who are you looking to hook up with and try to make this march forward?
Well, early me and my brother hooked up very, very nicely, and David Day and me always, we get together, we're real good. So if I had to choose one, I couldn't, because they're both great, and so are all these other guys. And those are my two guys. If those guys can stick with me, it's going to be an exciting finish.
Well, George, good luck the rest of the night. We hope to catch up here a little later on. We're going to root for you. I know I always root for that Davey Allison retro paint scheme you bring out here every time we see you on DRTV. So bring that thing to the front, and good to talk to you, my friend.
Thank you, and you know I love him to death. And of course, our Dallas Cowboys are playing, and I just wanted to throw that out there. So get ready.
Oh, go Cowboys. That reminds me, George. They're on tonight. So good luck. We'll get through the checkered flag of this thing, and we'll hope to bring that thing of a checkered flag. And go Cowboys. Todd, I believe pace car lights are off as the field is in the back straightaway.
10-4, guys, and thank you for the broadcast tonight. And I've got to thank out all of RTG and all the admins checking. Tim and everybody else with Josh, a heck of a group of guys. Thank you.
All right, that's George Hartefelax to 128. Hope to see that thing come to the front, Todd. George always one of the, I mean, there's so many great guys in the Center 2003 community, and George Hartefelax was one of them awesome guys to talk to. And you know, we had the chance to say, you know what, we haven't heard from our friend George in quite a while. Had to get him in here and say hello, and you know, always love to see that paint scheme. Him and his brother Chris always have them awesome looking retro schemes out, and you know, have to look for them boys to tag team up and make their way back toward the front.
The Cowboys, Phil, the Cowboys. We really had to bring them up on this broadcast. We didn't tell David. And you know, we had to bring up those Cowboys. Boy, may the force not be with you. Donnie Garrett is your current race leader with the number 89 of Paul Wolf. Actually, Paul Wolf is your current race leader, showing last time by the 89 of Paul Wolf on the outside line. He's preferred on the outside line. The 77 of Donnie Garrett sitting in that second spot. Third is Derek Justice getting ready to put the loud pedal down. Yellow flag still out. Waiting for that green flag. We're in the triangle coming out. Green flag is in the air. The number 89 of Paul Wolf is ready to put down. The 77 of Donnie Garrett is in the second spot. And third is the 021 of Derek Justice.
Her number 1. Paul Wolf out to the race lead, and that number 89, the Nature Boy Donnie Garrett, is going to fall behind him in that second spot. Derek Justice will fall into third. Carson Krins is fourth, and Brian Schilling, the number 14, he's fifth. But that's going to be the first battle of the racetrack. David Davis right there. He was peeking on the line. He's going to fall back now into the single file formation. Here comes Jeff Crivello in that number 80. He's pulled alongside the 5 of David Day as they hit turn 3.
Crivello side by side with David Day. Mr. Excitement David Day down on the bottom side. The number 80 of Jeff Crivello starting to make way up to the front. We haven't said much about Jeff Crivello driving that number 80 machine, but now he is inside the top 10 in that number 80 machine, trying to work over David Day. This time by Crivello is going to be scored in the 7th spot. So Crivello running in 7th. 6 is David Day. So these guys are side by side.
Side by side for about the 5th position on back. Josh Metallic forcing that Jeff Crivello machine up in that high lane. They made their way now up to that 6th position, trying to chase down the top 5 as they hit turn number 3. The race leader is Paul Wolf, followed by Donnie Garrett, Derek Justice, Chuck McClure, and 5th place Brian Schilling. He's got a miracle now up an outside lane. That being Jeff Crivello and Josh Metallic. They've made their way up to that 5th spot, working for 4th. That was a hit to try over.
And Josh Metallic in that 39 machine trying to work over the top side of the speedway behind him. Jeff Crivello, YouTube chat box, tell us who's going to win this race. I know we're running about 25 minutes. We're going to pull off the victory here. We're not going to have some kind of, we're not going to pick any picks tonight. Phil usually tries to keep away from me picking anybody because the black cloud sets in with me. But Derek Justice now to the high side, trying to work over the top side. He sees the top group starting to come in, so he's going to pull in front of Jeff Crivello. Justice going to try to make way on the top side and try to get around the 77 down to Paul Wolf. Now we're 3 wide. Another group starting to make way up top.
Yeah, way up top. Jeff Crivello looks to lead that charge in that number 80. Yeah, I'm going to fall back to the front of that Josh Metallic machine. I believe that's Derek Justice on that 021 in that middle spot there, running from 6th position on back. They formed back in a 2 wide for 6th. But Todd, you were talking about that black cloud here we have on DRTV. We talk about the YouTube chat box and asking them guys to shout their pick. And, you know, we try to stay away from it there, feel like that black cloud. But I'm going to buck that trend tonight. We've had a good week here. I'm going to pick the 021 of Derek Justice. I think he's going to find a way to put that GameStop Ford up into victory lane, and I think that'll be one guy to keep an eye on in that 021. Derek currently running in that 6th position, but look for his way to march forward. Rich, I'm going to throw it down to you. I believe you have a little update for us down there in the chat box.
Yeah, to all of our race fans out there watching us live here on DRTV, enjoying this event down at Talladega. So far, I'm seeing the 108 being called out, the 89 being called out, the 017, 14. There's quite a few people watching the show right now live, and there's quite a few people in the chat box starting to give out some card numbers on who they're rooting for. So liven up that chat box, guys. We're watching. If you got a question for these drivers or you want us to ask them something, we get another chance to interview them, we will certainly get your questions across the air. And let us know who you're rooting for. Make sure we get that across the air as well. Back up to you guys. I'm monitoring this box.
All right, Rich has his hands full down there with the controls and watching that DRTV YouTube chat box. The race will lead off of turn number 4. They're going to put lap 55 up on the board, so quickly approaching the later stage of this race. Paul Wolf sitting in that low lane, but here comes Mr. Excitement, David Day. He's going to sprint up to the race leader as they hit turn 1. Todd with help from George Hondafield in that high lane.
Door handle to door handle, David Day with the number 89 of Paul Wolf down the back straightaway. Donnie Garrett looking down low, but going to stay back in line with the number 89 of Paul Wolf. They are still side by side down the back straightaway. David Day now has the middle groove going with the help from the 128 of George Harder-Felix. He's right there behind him. So George Harder-Felix pushing David Day to the lead here momentarily. We're going to have to see if this bottom group can make way down through the 4th corner down to the trial. The bottom groove is the preferred groove around the Talladega Superspeedway normally, but we're 3 wide, so there's no preferred groove right now.
No preferred groove at all. That middle lane looks to be the fast way around right now, being towed around by David Day, George Hondafield and Derek Justice. Caution on the speedway, a big accident as they hit turn number 1, multiple cars involved. Now I believe we may see a couple of Richisms comes on here. 2nd yellow flag of the night at lap 56, so we're going to be under that 20 lap to go. Their field is not going to race back to the yellow flag, so David Day is going to be scored your race leader. And I believe, unfortunately, Todd, I believe you may have caught a little of that. I believe you might have seen point leader Tim Nosker might have had a piece of that.
No, they made it through. Points leader Tim Nosker and 2nd in points John Chapman Jr. made it through. A lot of cars involved though down the back straightaway. There was some guys involved. Some of these guys still coming up to speed down the back straightaway. I seen one guy on his roof, so I know there's going to be some Richisms, and see if there's any new Richisms that we can add to our dictionary here this evening.
Well, I'm just trying to find it myself. Rich will show you exactly what happened there. I know we're going to get a little turtle action here, but I don't know if we're going to get any super turtle out of this. But Rich, for sure, if he's got a new Richism, I can guarantee he'll find it here. Under the yellow flag, the field has caught the pace car in the back straightaway, working lap 57. So, Todd, when these guys get back to the green flag action, we're going to be about 16 laps to go or less. Do you believe this might be the final time we see them on pit road? And now, if you're going to hit the pit road for this final time, are you going to take tires at all? Are you going to take gas and go? I mean, if you're out there in your DRTV Motorsports machine, what are you going to do?
I'm going to cut down pit road, take 2 tires, and top off on my fuel. Make sure I have all the fuel in there that I can have, and just take 2 tires and then go back out there, probably race side tires, and go back out there and try to win a race, Phil. It's pretty self-explanatory down there on pit road. If I was coming down, some of these guys probably will take no tires and some will take 4 tires. But Mr. TV Time Rich Patton is ready down there in the booth, and he has our replay queued up for you guys out there in YouTube land.
Yeah, race fans, I've been looking, I've been studying, and I've been trying to come up with a new one for you, but this one's not as violent as it first seemed. I don't think we're going to get any good Richisms out of this one either. I'm sorry to let you guys down. But it's still quite a interesting event that's taking place here. We're going to keep our eyes on the 096. That's going to be Rick Leduc. It looks like Rick is going to try to come up into this hole, but there was just not enough room. He's going to clip the front end of the 66. That's going to spin him up into the wall. Comes back down. Obviously, there's a couple more cars getting crunched up. We're going to go ahead and pan this out because there's just too many cars to see exactly what's going on with everybody. but we're going to go ahead and run this through, let the 96 and the 20 show their spinning dance. The 075 caught a little bit of air on the back end, just jacked up the back end of his car. Everybody else seems to be staying on their tires. I don't see anything really getting too crazy, other than everybody just going in opposite directions. It looks like we did have a couple there late. There is a roof surfer coming down the track, but that's pretty much all I'm seeing out of this one, guys. It looks like one roof server at the last moment. See if we can't zoom in and see who that was. That looks like that's going to be the Sunoco car. That's going to be the number 7, is Cy Jones. He ended up on his roof later in the end of this event. As you can see, he's just sitting there. Not really a turtle. Turtle would be spinning on his roof. That's just a result of a roof surf that ended on the apron, guys. Back up to you.
All right, so we're rolling under the yellow flag here. Less than 20 laps to go. These guys may have found pit road for the final time here, working lap number 58 of the 76 tonight. Season finale for the MSR Tally Challenge Championship night. Tim Nofsker coming in tonight, 25 points up on Johnny Chapman Jr. in that 108 machine. So far, it's been a clean race for the 088, able to keep it out of trouble on pit lane. But Todd, under this yellow flag, we've seen contact on the pit lane has not been without incident. These guys getting on pit road for the last gas and goes. I mean, what were you able to see on pit road?
Seen a lot of guys going into the pit stalls, a lot of guys coming out of the pit stalls for just gas and go only. Seen the 20 of Riley Cote and the 77 make contact. Donnie Garrett, the Nature Boy, was trying to come out of his pit stall. The 20 was going into his pit stall, and around goes the number 20 machine, and the 77 had to sit there behind the number 20. Another guy around as I'm talking down on pit road. I'm not sure who that was, but another guy down in the middle side of the pit road. He is around on pit road. So another incident on pit road. A lot of these guys coming down pit road and misjudging coming out and not making sure that the other guy's not there. And that's what's happening down here on pit road. A lot of carnage happening down here, and that's something you just don't expect here.
Absolutely not. Rolling right under the yellow flag here. Working lap number 59 now under the yellow flag. The lights are still on the pace car, so we have just a minute or so here to kill here under this current caution flag. The second of the night. We're going to regroup here real quick. We're going to take a quick break and throw this thing to our NRT Seavers commercial. Get a quick drink. So we'll be right back with this awesome finisher about to go. Less than 20 laps to go. We'll be right back.
NRT Game Servers is your best option for your gaming development needs. State-of-the-art technology combined with some of the best voice talent and software out there, NRT gives a quality gaming experience. Dedicated to their craft, NRT provides quality product and services. Contact NRT Game Servers today at 828-212-4040 or at www.nrtservers.com today for a quality gaming experience.
We're back here live on DRTV over at the MSR Tally Challenge, the season finale tonight. Over here at RTG, it's been championship week here at RTG. We were here for the Barebone Series race here, the Truck Series on Monday night. Seen an awesome race there. That was won by Zach Freemow in the number 6 machine. He was able, no, he was a runner-up. David Day took down the championship in that number 5, the overall championship. We were here one night ago, the Aero 88 Series. It was an awesome finish there with Jeff Soup taking down the championship. And now tonight, Tim Nofsker, the 088, your point leader, coming in with a 25-point lead here under the yellow flag here. It's going to be about a 16-lap sprint from here in this MSR Tally Challenge finale. Now under the yellow flag, we'll see if we can't catch up with our good friend, the Nature Boy, Donnie Garrett. Donnie, Phil LeCastle, DRTV, do you have a copy? Woo! Donnie out there in that number 77 car. Going to start mid-pack about 17th. The lights are out in the pace car. Not a lot of time to get there. What are you going to do behind the wheel of that 77 to bring that thing back to the front?
I've been sitting up there biding my time on the bottom all night, and the 20 come in there and got me on pit road here, back here. So I don't know. I'm gonna probably up on the high side. I don't like the high side, but I do pretty well up there, so that's where I'm gonna go up there, and me and Ryan Larkin will probably hook up.
Well, Donnie, looking behind you, you got the names like Derek Justice, Josh Metallic, Brian Bell right there behind you. Those guys have been able to work on that high lane all night long. So, word of advice, I think if you hook up one of them, you may find your way forward. You got your hands full out there. Mid-pack, the number 77, Donnie. We have not talked to you for a while here. Good to catch over here on DRTV real quick here. About a half a lap away from the green flag. Anybody like to say hi to or give a shout-out out there on DRTV tonight?
Yeah, I want to thank all these guys for putting this on here at RTG, and you guys just amazing. I've been watching the races all week, and you guys have been doing an amazing job calling these races, and I'm sure you're tired, and you guys are pretty incredible.
Well, we appreciate that, partner, and it's good to talk to you. We'll let you get back down to the race channel, but, you know, we'll be watching the Nature Boy, Donnie Garrett, the 77. Bring that thing forward, Danny. Woo!
You got it, buddy. Woo! Hey, they did name a wing over at the Infield Care Center for me, so we'll go see what we might end up over later on, but if not, we might be in victory lane.
Well, we'll be watching that 77, Donnie. Give it a good ride. Good luck there, buddy. About to go green.
Woo!
All right, Todd. Nature Boy, Donnie Garrett, riding around. He's going to restart 17th, but we'll turn our attention back to the front. Chuck McClure and George Hartofelax, that's going to be your front row. Pace cars found its way to pit road.
Yeah, McClure and Hartofelax going to lead them down to get the green flag once again. Donnie Garrett, always a character. Woo! I have to do it too. Chuck McClure, George Hartofelax, David Day, Jeff Crivello, Carson Krins, Chris Robbins, Terry Bombard, Tim Nosker, Brian Schilling, and Gary Mingus, your top 10. Getting ready to go back to green flag. The green flag is in the air. The loud pedal is down. Chuck McClure gets the early advantage here. It's going to take a lap and a half, 2 laps even. McClure right now in the lead with George Hartofelax now diving down behind him.
David Day was able to break out of that second line and make his way to the low side, third place in line. Here comes Carson Krins in that 103. He's broken his way up into fourth. Now they're going to gang tackle on Chuck McClure. Out to the high lane as they hit turn 3.
Definitely gang tackling down the back straightaway into corner number 1. George Hartofelax now going to be able to get around him. David Day, corner number 3 down, corner number 4. David Day pushing George Hartofelax on the top side. Chuck McClure dropping back on the bottom group, but he does have some help down there, so it's going to take a little bit for these guys to get back up and going down on the bottom straight.
Get a drink there, Todd. Battle is for the third spot as it hit turn number 3. George Hartofelax is broken out, followed by David Day. Carson Krins is third. The race for fourth now between the 017 of Chuck McClure, Jeff Crivello, and that number 80, and also Chris Robbins, the 08. Those 3 cars right together. Here comes Chris Robbins on that high side. He may make that charge all the way up for the race lead, Todd, as they hit turn 4.
Yeah, Chris Robbins pushing the 103 of Carson Krins on the top side. Carson Krins making the charge with Robbins right there behind him, trying to make a charge on the 128 of George Hartofelax. Now we're 3 wide, third line forming way up top, almost next to that wall, Phil, being led between the leaders. Guys upside down and all kinds of carnage throughout the speedway. People hitting the inside wall, up in the air, people getting pilot licenses and everything, Phil. Carnage at the Talladega Super Speedway.
Wow, a multiple car wreck right around the race lead. Much of the race leaders involved. First car to break away from that was Chris Robbins in that 08. Ron Larkin Jr., Hank Middleton, number 2. Looked like them 3 guys were able to get away clean. Also, Gary Mingus in that number 12. Looks like he may be no worse for the wear in that 4th spot, but multiple guys rolling off the banking and off the pace. Contact at the front of the field. I believe we saw George Hartofelax, Carson Krins, Jeff Crivello be among the many, many cars involved. As Todd called it, a parking lot here. And Todd, they always say yellows breed yellows here, and this is the 3rd one of the night. Now approaching lap number 64. By the time this thing gets green, we're going to be under 10 laps to go. I think it's time to cowboy up here, partner.
Yeah, saddle on up and get this race over with. The Talladega Super Speedway, the MSR Tally Challenge season finale. Looks like Ron Larkin Jr. came out of that one with the lead, with Chris Robbins second, Hank Middleton third. Gary Mingus made it through. I think the points leader made it through, Tim Nosker. I'm not sure how he did make it through, but we're going to have to see what kind of ride-alongs we can get with some of these guys. And maybe Nosker didn't make it through in that 088 machine, and that would be a tough break for him, as it looks like the 108 did make it through of John Chapman Jr. So we're going to have to see what kind of replay Rich has in store for us, and I know that's going to be a really busy replay, because that started with 1 and 2.
Man, Todd, just peeking back at it, I think everybody from 5th on back may have got a piece of this. Even back to 5th place, Chuck McClure in that 017, it broke loose all around him. Now let's stop talking about it. Let's see exactly what happened down to Rich to the control booth. A wild ride, contact amongst the race leaders.
Yeah, guys, this one's going to be a little bit tough to call. We're going to have to change a couple camera angles for everybody in the field or everybody watching the show tonight to be able to see what's happened, but I'm going to tell you what started this. It looked like a bump draft too early coming out of the trioval. We're going to give this one unofficial credit to Chris Robbins in the 08. Looks like he's going to get into the back of the 103. That's Carson Renz. That's going to send Carson Renz down towards the inside. And you know who's down there? David Day and George Felix. They're going to make connection. We're going to change this camera back out so everybody can see what's going on, because things get crazy from here. We're going to run this out. George Felix is going to launch right there. You see him going up in the air. We're going to go ahead and pan this camera out one more time. Try to get back over here. We can see everything for everybody. We're going to have to go with this one. It's going to switch over there for us so we can see what's going on. But there's George Felix. That, I don't know what else to say other than a championship skateboarder riding on his tail. Look at that. On his nose. He's riding. There's cars flipping. There's cars into the wall. Complete chaos. Started from the front of the pack. We're going to try to stay back on this so you can see everybody involved. But it is like a parking lot. I heard these guys mentioning a parking lot. Up in turn 1, there's cars all over the place. We're seeing one car still doing a dance. That looks like that might be. Let's go see if we can zoom in a little bit closer to him. Trying to get this camera over here for you guys to see what's going on. That's going to be the 77 right there. We'll keep our eye on him. He's doing a little bit of roof surfing back on top. That's Donnie Garrett. We talked to him just a little bit ago. He's obviously going to have some damage now. But as you guys can see, there's a lot of carnage. There's another car on its roof back up in there again. See if we can't get back over there to him. That's going to be the 18. He's on his roof. Looks like he's surfing slowly back down towards the apron. Meanwhile, we've got all kinds of cars stopped, trying to get their cars turned around. As you can see there, the 82 trying to get his car turned around the right direction. A lot of carnage, a couple cars on their roofs, possibly a couple roof surfers. Didn't quite see a turtle, guys, but there was a lot of cars in this, and it looked like, I'm willing to bet, George Felix probably got the worst of that one by doing that skateboard trick.
Well, in Jordan's defense there, Rich, you know, he was up in the race lead, and you know, when you wreck at the race lead, you get turned like that in oncoming traffic. I don't think there's any other way to be but probably a surfboard, because at that rate, you're just a passenger.
10-4, I hear that. There wasn't a whole heck of a lot he's going to be able to do coming down, you know, getting hit on the passenger side, coming out of nowhere, didn't even see it coming. And unbelievable. I mean, we can just imagine what it looked like face down to the pavement while he's riding on his nose, you know.
But we'll have to monitor the progress for George, who's going to be mired back in traffic now, and probably a lot of damage from that wreck is rolling under the yellow flag here. Working lap number 66, or under 10 laps to go. And Todd, I'm not sure about you, but I think it's time to pull these harnesses real tight, because I think we're going to be in for a barn burner here. The pace car is working its way off of turn number 2, about a lap and a half away from the green flag, and I think we're going to see business here about the pickup.
Yeah, I believe we're going to see business pick up, as the race leader right now is Ron Larkin Jr., Chris Robbins running in second, Hank Middleton in that number 2, he's running third, Gary Mingus the slingshot up to fourth, fifth is the 017 of Chuck McClure, 6th Terry Bombard, 7th the 39 of Josh Metallic, 8th the 82 of Tony Bratt, 9th to 14 of Brian Schilling, 10th to 25 of Brian Bell, Ricky LeDuc is 11th, 12th is the 108 machine of John Chapman Jr., 13th to 18 of David Lawson, 14th to 77 of Donnie Garrett, 15th to 088 of Tim Nosker, 16th Wiley Cote in the number 20, 17th to 51 of TJ Hagler, 18th to 66 of Larry Yeager, 19th to 103 of Carson Cringe, the 112 of Chris Hartofelix, in 20th, 21st, Jeff Carvello, and the number 80 machine, 046 of Michael Scott. Derek Justice heard in-race communications from him, says it's not over yet. He's going to have to come from the 23rd position. 24th is double not zero of Jason Scheck. 25th, the number 5 of David Day. Stevie Minson in the 196, he's 26th. 27th, Tony Fox. 28th, the 128 of George Hartofelix. 29th, the 59 of Herman Reese. 30th, the 89 of Paul Wolf. 31st, the 115 of Sean Lockyer. 32nd, the 95 of Dave Earlywine. 33rd is the 075 of Jesse Klein. 34th, the 41 of Brian Hogue. 35th, the 7 of Cy Jones. Rick Moon out of this race. And the 121 of Steve Looney rounds out your field, also out of this race.
Lights are out on the pace car here. Is a couple guys getting a waiver on here on the Lucky Dog. Less than 10 laps to go. We'll see if we can't catch up with race leader Ron Larkin Jr. Ron, Phil LaCasse of DRTV. Do you have a copy?
10-4, big guys.
Ron out there with the race lead here with less than 10 laps to go. But the first question to you, when you saw that carnage breaking around you, what were you thinking behind the wheel of that number 73 car?
I was thinking what Hank thinks before the race. Oh my God, I almost pooped. So, I don't know, now it's turned out to be something else. Like, now it's getting down to, you just keep your foot down, just hope for the best.
Well, Ron, I think that's all you can do from here. Hope for the best. One more quick question here. With the race lead here, less than 10 laps to go. It's the season finale here, live on DRTV for this Tally Challenge. What's that strategy going to be for that 73 to keep that thing up to the front?
It's going to be wide and handsome, I hope. I just hope I get a little push from behind. I got Hankster there at the top. He's going to put his cherries on. Maybe he can stay in the front. And got to thank RTG, MSR, Juice Flow Graphic, Dave Cannon, all the boys over here. Anybody that loves super speedway racing. Holy crap, there's like 40-something guys every week coming here to race. And the show you guys put on this TV event, wow, look at that. So these guys sitting here watching this stuff, get your ass off the couch and let's go racing.
Well, Ron, you're about to get that thing fired up on the green, so good luck, and we'll hope to see you bring that 73 home up near the front of the field. Good luck, buddy.
10-4, bud.
All right, Todd, that's Ron Larkin Jr., the race leader. He's going to have his hands full. He has Chris Robbins to his outside. Hank Middleton, Gary Mingus in row number 2, and third car in that inside line is Chuck McClure, the number 017. I believe it's anybody's race from here, Todd. Pace car is in, less than 10 laps to go. We're about to get this thing back under green.
Pace van did make that hard left-hand turn down there. Green flags in the air, and Ron Larkin Jr., a good start for that number 73 machine. Chris Robinson down on the bottom side. Chris Robbins down on the bottom side. He pulled in front of Hank Middleton in that number 2 machine. It's going to take him a lap and a half to get up to full song, but right now, Ron Larkin with Chris Robbins second. The number 2 of Hank Middleton sitting in that third spot. Business is about ready to pick up here at the Talladega Super Speedway.
First car on the outside line is that number 12 of Gary Mingus. And now Hank Middleton in the number 2. He'll swing to the outside. He's going to get alongside that Chris Robbins machine. Side by side for that second spot. Ron Larkin throwing the block up that high lane. Will he come back down to the inside? Nope. Here comes Chris Robbins to the inside. Battle for the lead off of turn number 4.
Yeah, Chris Robbins on the bottom side. Ron Larkin Jr. looks like he's going to be able to lead this time by through the trial. Hank Middleton running in that second spot. Chris Robbins on the bottom side in that 08 machine. So we're still side by side, probably 7 rows deep here, Phil. You can come from anywhere. Anybody can win this race, but right now we're focusing on the front 2. It's number 73 of Ron Larkin Jr. and Chris Robbins. Here comes a third line forming way up on the top side, Phil.
Third line trying to get rolling up in that high lane. Being led by the 82 of Tony Brent. Tony last time by was scored in the 10th position. He's going to try to pull that high lane around. He's got competition down low in the way of that number 12 Bunny Bread Dodge of Gary Mingus. 3 wide now for the race leaders to exit turn 4.
Hank Middleton left the number 73 around Larkin Jr. all by himself in the middle. Oh, contact made. Gary Mingus around it. Once again, another big one in the parking lot in the turn one. Guys flipping up in the air and more pilot licenses, and they are just piling on in. We're stacking them up through corner number one.
Wow, I don't know how else to describe that. Rich is going to have his hands full on the DRTV replay as carnage breaking out in turn number one. Contact from about that fourth position on back, but race leader Chris Robbins able to break free of that. Believe they're racing back to the line as he exits turn number 4. Looks like he's going to win that race back to the yellow flag. He's got competition behind him in the way of the 017 of Chuck McClure and Hank Middleton. Race to the yellow flag. Give it to Chris Robbins at the line. Chuck McClure, Hank Middleton, Brian Schilling, and Johnny Chapman Jr. Todd, he's going to get up to 5th in that number 108. Can't imagine he's not grinning from ear to ear as he's cracked his way up into the top 5, trying to catch point leader Tim Nofsker, who was scored last time by in that 24th position. Looks like he may gain some spots from this multiple car incident. Many cars going to be back behind the wall and retired from the event, including Tony Brent, Gary Mingus the Slingshot, Ricky LeDuc in the 096, amongst a gaggle of others who've had to pull it. Stevie Minson, TJ Hagler, Tim Nofsker, the point leader. Todd, I believe you see him down on the pit lane. It sounds like heavy damage to that 088, and that may damage any chance that he has to chase down the 108 and try to hold on to this championship.
Yeah, the 108 or the 088 of Tim Nofsker down on pit road. I believe he got a tow truck and he's heavily damaged. Hood popped up in the air looking through his in-car camera. The 088 of Tim Nofsker, the hood's just right up in the air, Phil, and damage on every corner of the 088 machine. Gonna have to see if they can repair that machine and try to get him back out there and try to hang on to this points title here. Tim Nofsker had a dream season going so far. He had 1 win, 6 top 5s, and 8 top 10s. He was your current points leader by 25 points over second place, running the 108 of John Chapman Jr. And John Chapman right now sitting in the catbird seat, sitting in that 5th spot in that 108 machine, and Tim Nofsker on pit road. And Nosker's car is heavily damaged, Phil. I can't explain it any more than it's really damaged bad.
Yeah, unfortunate for Tim there. It said coming in tonight, 25 points to the good here, trying to hold off Johnny Chapman Jr. for this championship. And it may be a lot to try to hold on to. Was there heavy damage to that 088? And there's heavy damage to multiple machines. I believe Rich is ready with the DRTV replay. Rich, down to you, and you're going to have a lot to show here. It's a wild replay.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out the best way to watch this for everybody out there because there was so much going on. So I decided to stick with the 82 since I think he's going to give me the best riches. So we're going to basically watch what happens here. It looks like we're already 3 wide. The 12 is going to get close up to the 73. Looks like he tried to stay off his corner. That's going to send the 12 up into the 25 and the 82. We're going to go ahead and keep our eye on the 82. Go ahead and pan this camera out just a little bit so we can see exactly what's happened. Still focused on the 82. Everybody starts getting piled up. There's cars flying around. Let's go back in there and see if we can't get a little bit closer on that 82 again, because the 82 is about to do some spectacular gymnastic moves. He's up in the air. He doesn't work. He is now doing the opposite work. Gets a little bit of roof surfing in there, trying to get a turtle. He's back on his tires, back down on the ground. But look at them cars flipping around him again. They hit him, and he starts doing aerial artwork up on the top of the track. He's back roof surfing again. Coming back down the track again with another barrel roll. I am shocked that car still got 4 tires on it. That car is completely destroyed. There's tire marks on the side. There's other cars smoking. You see a lot of cars in this picture right now. Motors blown. There's a lot of damage. We're going to see a lot of cars out of this race right here with just 6 laps to go. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be interesting to see who can even stay up in the pack. It's going to be interesting to see who gets to take their car to the garage this early in the evening. Guys, back up to you.
Wow, Todd, a developing situation from pit road. Give us an update.
Yeah, we were watching the 088 of Tim Nosker, and he's pulled it behind the wall. Damage was too severe to fix in the 088 machine, and it looks like he's going to wind up 32nd on the field. Points leader Tim Nosker. Not a good night for the 088 machine, and I believe barring what happens with the 108 machine, he's got to have a solid finish here, and I'm not sure where it's going to be, Phil. Maybe you got that technical, got your calculator out and trying to figure out where he's got to finish.
Well, if my calculations were right, I believe Tim had to finish 22nd or better, and regardless, it would have given him the championship. But unfortunately for Tim's case, you said behind the wall, looks like he's going to finish somewhere around 32nd position. That looks like where he'll end up in the line here. Maybe 33rd if Cyber Jones is still on the racetrack, as he's currently scored 3 laps down. Not sure if the 7 machine was also, I know he was heavily involved. He's still on the racetrack, so Tim may get sent back even to the 33rd position. So now our attention is going to turn to Johnny Chapman Jr. He's going to have to finish in the rank, probably about, I'd say about 8th or better here to sew up this championship. And currently, he's got that 108 machine up into the top 5 in the 5th position. So, we'll have to turn our attention to the points here as we get to these waning laps. It looks like we may be close to possibly a green-white checker here, Todd. I believe the lights are still on the pace cars. The field is in turn number 4. But a big developing situation, an awful break here for Tim Nosker. Just wanted to bring that thing home in one piece. But unfortunately for our good buddy Tim, looks like that has gone by the wayside.
Again, tough break for the 088 of Tim Nosker, having a dream season till this evening. Tough break for Tim Nosker. He could finish up in the 33rd position here this evening. Now focusing to the front, the 08 of Chris Robbins is your current race leader. Chuck McClure is running second. Hank Middleton is running third. Fourth will be Brian Schilling. Fifth is John Chapman Jr. He is currently second in points, and that's the guy you got to keep your eye on. He's got to finish, Phil is saying, 8th or better to sew up this championship, so we're going to have to see what happens with the 108 machine. Mr. Excitement, David Day in that number 5. He's running 6th. 7th is the 80 of Jeff Crivello. Donnie Garrett is 8th in that number 77 machine. 9th, Larry Yeager in the number 66 machine. 10th, the 112 of Chris Harder-Felix. 11th, Brian Bell. 12th, 128, George Harder-Felix. Jesse Klein, who has a win on the season, he is running in that 13th position. 14th, 115 is Sean Lockyer. Jason Scheck aboard the 00 machine is running 15th. 16th, 036 of Michael Scott. 17th, David Lawson in the number 18 machine. Ron Larkin Jr. after that contact made, he is still out there running, but in that 18th spot. 19th, and 20, Wiley Koke. 20th is the 021 of Derek Justice. 21st, the 10 of Terry Bombard. 39 of Josh Metallic is 22nd. 23rd, Paul Wolf. 24th, Herman Reese in the 59 machine. Tony Fox and Cy Jones still left running out there on the speedway. The rest of the guys from 27th on back are retired from this event. Tony Brent, Gary Mingus, Ricky LeDuc, Carson Krin, Stevie Minson, TJ Hagler, Tim Nosker going to finish up in that 33rd position, Phil. Like we said, Cy Jones ended up getting around Tim Nosker, so going to finish up 33rd, 34th there, Dave Earlyline, 35th, Brian Hogue, Rick Moon, and Steve Looney rounds out your field, Phil. We're about ready to have business pick up green, right, and checker.
So the field is in turn number 3 and 4. We're about to get this thing back under the green flag. Chris Robbins with the race lead, followed by Chuck McClure on that outside. Chuck was your pole sitter tonight. We know he's been fast all night long. Row 2, keep an eye on these guys. Hank Middleton, Brian Schilling. In row number 2, Johnny Chapman, David Day. Johnny Chapman racing for a championship here. He's going to restart 5th. A green-white checker, Todd, to settle this MSR Tally Challenge. The pace fan is in, and we're going to put the field in controls of Chris Robbins as we await a green flag.
Robbins and McClure get ready to get the green flag here from the flagger for one last time. They put the loud pedal down, and McClure gets a better start than Robbins on the bottom. McClure on the top side of the speedway in that 017 machine. He's going to try to beat him to corner number 1. Not going to be able to do so. To slide down in front of him. Robbins back down on the bottom side in that 08 machine.
Chris Robbins going to bring the 08 out to the race lead. The battle now becomes to that second spot. Chuck McClure trying to get that thing wound up to the high lane. He's going to pull back alongside the race leader with help from Brian Schilling in the 14. Mr. Excitement David Day in that 3-unit Dodge in that number 5 on the high lane. Race leader, though, is Chris Robbins as they hit turn 3.
The 017 of Chuck McClure back up front. McClure has been a strong car all evening long. The number 14 of Brian Schilling pushing McClure as we're getting ready to get White Silk coming down through the tribal. White Silk will be in the air. White flag for the 017 of Chuck McClure with Brian Schilling pushing him right there. And the number 5 machine of David Day running in that 3rd spot. They're trying to work over the bottom side with Chris Robbins on the bottom, trying to pull up, desperately trying to pull up to the 017 of Chuck McClure. McClure right now hanging on. All he's got to do is throw a couple of blocks and McClure could probably lock up this win.
McClure with the race lead down the back stretches. They're door handle down the back stretch. David Day on the outside lane. In the inside line, Chris Robbins. There was a bit of contact there. Here comes that Chris Robbins machine with help from Hank Middleton in that number 2. He's brought the Flying Deuce up to that 2nd spot. Too wide for the race lead. Todd off of turn number 4.
Down into the triangle, Chris Robbins going to edge him at the line. Robbins in contact. They're wrecking across the start-finish line, but Chris Robbins going to pick up the win and on his roof in style of the 08 machine. Chris Robbins going to pick up the win here with Chuck McClure finishing 2nd, .028 behind him. Hank Middleton, Brian Schilling, and rounding out your top 5 is the 108 machine of John Chapman Jr. He's going to finish 5th on the field tonight. David Day, Jeff Crivello, Donnie Garrett, Larry Yeager, and Jesse Klein round out your top 10 for the Talladega Super Speedway, Phil.
Wow, a wild finish there. Chris Robbins able to take down the win, albeit sideways there across the start-finish line. Chuck McClure, as you said, going to come home 2nd, followed by Hank Middleton, Brian Schilling, and Johnny Chapman unofficially going to finish him in that 5th spot. We're going to have a check with race control. Did he do enough to wrap up this championship? We'll get all this sorted out here on DRTV. But Todd, what a wild finish. You brought it all the way down here to the checkered flag. And, you know, you can see the remnants coming off of turn number 4. There was going to be some contact coming down to the start-finish line. But at the end of it, Chris Robbins did all he had to do to take down the checkered flag.
Yeah, good finish for the 08 of Chris Robbins. Got to remember Chris Robbins in that 08 machine. He was running 3rd in the championship chase here this evening, and Chris Robbins did all he could do. He was mathematically out here this evening, 56 points out, but Chris Robbins taking down the win, going to probably secure a podium spot as he's burning it down in front of the start-finish line at the Talladega Super Speedway. Chris Robbins picking up the win here this evening. That's going to be his 2nd win on the season, and what a way to capitalize here on DRTV. Chris Robbins win number 2, so he's going to add himself to only 2 other drivers winning multiple times here this year.
So we'll see if we can't get interviews here with our top 3 finishers tonight, that being your race winner, Chris Robbins, in the number 08, Chuck McClure in the 017, in that deuce of Hank Middleton. So we'll see if we can't get these guys squared away. Todd, need another 2nd or 2, so I'm going to throw it back to you. We'll see if we can't get the top 3 all squared away, and see if we can't get away from race control as to who have won the overall championship.
I went down your top 10. I can go down your next few cars. The 11th, the 115 of Sean Lockyer finishes 11th. 12th is the 021 of Derek Justice. 13th, the 18 of David Lawson. 14th, the 20 of Wiley Cote. 15th, the 10 of Terry Bombard. 16th, the 046 of Michael Scott. 17th, the 59 of Herman Reese. 18th, the 00 of Jason Scheck. 19th, the 39 of Josh Metallic. 20th, the 73 of Ron Larkin Jr. 21st, Brian Bell. 22nd, the 112 of Chris Hart of Felix. 23rd, the 128 of George Hart of Felix. 24th, the 89 of Paul Wolf. 25th to 33 of Tony Fox. Cy Jones finishes in the 26th position. 82 of Tony Brett. 27th. 28th, Gary Mingus. 29th, the 096 of Ricky LeDuc. 30th, the 103 of Carson Krins. 31st, the 196 of Stevie Minson. 32nd, the 51 of TJ Hagler. 33rd, the 088 of Tim Nosker. 34th, the 95 of Dave Earlywine. 35th, the 41 of Brian Hogue. 36th, the 07 of Rick Moon. And rounding out your field here for the Talladega Challenge, the season finale, the 121 of Steve Looney. And news just in, Our champion here this evening by 6 points, John Chapman Jr., overtaking Tim Nosker from his really, really bad luck here this evening.
Well, we'll definitely get a word with our champion, John Chapman Jr., as well as that top three. We'll see if we can't get a word with our third place finisher, that being the number 2 of Hank Middleton. Hank, Phil LeCassim, DRTV, do you have a copy?
I do, sir.
Hank, awesome job out there tonight. Able to bring that flying deuce home in position number 3. A wild ride, man. Tell us all about it.
Well, I'll tell you what. We on the restart, I told Dave Chris Robbins, hey, look, I'll push you to the end. I'll work with all I can. And for a while there, I didn't think we were going to be able to get up there, but grip was to our advantage, and we got some drafting going, and I pushed them all I could, and right near the end of the checkered flag, I just got a tick loose, and anyway, but I was able to push them to the victory. But what a great race. It really was.
No, absolutely an awesome finish out there. Hank, we haven't got to talk to you here on DRTV. I'm going to give you the floor here as we have a few more interviews to do. I'm going to let you thank whoever you'd like to, say hi to whoever you'd like to, get that deuce on the speedway here this evening.
Well, thank you. So first of all, I want to thank Terry Bombard and Too Slow Graphics, great people to work with, of RTG, MSR, all those folks, and my friends and family, and my girlfriend who lets me race. Very nice of her to do that. So can't thank them all. But just good guys to work with and a great crowd to hang out with. Can't thank them enough. And thank you guys as well.
All right. Well, Hank, we appreciate that. That's Hank Middleton. Todd was able to finish up tonight in that third position. I believe you've caught up now with our second place finisher tonight, that being the 017 of Chuck McClure. Todd, down to you.
I've caught up with driver out of Moundsville, West Virginia, Chuck McClure, in that 017 machine. Chuck, tell us about those closing laps. What was going through your mind with all the carnage and everything that was going on, Chuck? What was going through your mind there at the end of this race?
Well, I did a lot of mirror driving. I was me and the 14 had teamed up, and we're real good buddies, and we're partners in another league, ECT, and we just had a deal all night long. We just stayed together, and I knew he wasn't going to leave me, and I wasn't going to leave him.
Oh, great finish here tonight. You were leading up front all evening long. It looks like you're going to come home with the second place finish here tonight. And what was your vantage point trying to get through some of these wrecks there, Chuck? Some of the ones that the cars were really piling up there. Did you get any damage from any of those incidents, or did you get through them pretty clean?
Not a scratch. They all happened. One of them happened right in front of me, and I think a couple others happened just behind me, and I got really lucky tonight.
Well, Chuck, I'm going to give you the floor and let you thank whoever you would like to thank for your second place finish here tonight. Good job, by the way, in that 017 machine, but the floor is all yours.
All right, I'd like to thank you guys for putting on what I'm sure was a really great show. David Cannon and Terry Bauman, Too Slow Graphics, for putting on the race too, and I want to say hey to all my ECT buddies over at East Coast Thunder. We're thinking about you, and way to go, ECT.
Well, that's the driver of the 017 machine, Chuck McClure. I'm going to throw it back down, I believe, to Phil, who's caught up with our series champion.
Yes, thank you very much, Todd. I have caught up with our series champion, the 108 of John Chapman Jr. John, Phil LeCassim, DRTV, do you have a copy?
I got you right here, sir.
John, an awesome job out there. Congratulations. Unofficially the champion by 6 points. You must be elated and grinning from ear to ear as you had 25 points to overcome tonight. And by way of your top 5 finish there, you were able to take that championship home.
Hey, I'm really surprised on how good I pulled through the field there. Tim had his bad luck there, and I really hate it for him. He's a really good racer. If I finished second to anyone, it'd be him. And I like to thank Too Slow Graphics for putting this event on tonight for us.
Now, John, I got to ask you there, all that carnage broke right around you out there. But you were riding around probably about in that 12th position when one of those wrecks happened right in front of you. What was your vantage point there? What were you thinking seeing all that carnage happening around you?
Well, I seen the cars come together, and I know to get away, and I just barely got out of there by the skin of my teeth there, and it just worked out for me there.
Well, John, I'm going to give you the floor one more time. You're the series champion here, the MSR Tally Challenge. Congratulations. The floor is all yours to say hi or thank whoever you'd like for letting you get on the speedway here this evening.
Yes, I'd like to thank Terry. I'd like to thank David Cannon and Terry Bombard for all their hard work. Tim Noskar, Sean Prime, Josh Metallic. I'd like to thank Jason Check for my paint job tonight. And a lot, and back again to Too Slow Graphics for putting this event on tonight.
All right. Well, that's your series champion there, Todd. Johnny Chapman Jr. in the 108 takes down the overall championship here for the Tally Challenge. It was an awesome run, but at the end of the day here, down at Victory Lane will be the 08 of Chris Robbins. By way of that championship there, Todd, John Chapman Jr. will find his way here into the RTR All-Star race here in a couple of weeks on August 29th on a Saturday night. But we'll get to that here in a little bit. I know Rich is down there. He's got a wild celebration in Victory Lane with the 08 of Chris Robbins. Rich, down to you.
Yeah, I've made my way down here, and you guys know Talladega's already crazy anyway, but this winner's circle down here is on fire right now. Chris Robbins, you just won this big event, man, the final event of the season. How do you feel?
Well, sort of kind of a double-edged sword. I feel good, but then I feel pretty crappy because of the wreck with Carson Krenz there. Because I don't know. I mean, we're doing 198 miles an hour. I got guys behind me. I mean, I don't know what I could have done. I mean, it's just it sucks. So it kind of takes the wind out of the sail because I had a crazy night. So yeah, it's just I'm happy, but I'm sort of kind of not.
Yeah, 10-4, I know how that feels. I've been in your shoes before, but you got to celebrate the win, buddy. You got to get over it and let the admin sort it out. That's their job. You believe in your heart you had a clean race. That's what you got to go with, man. And great news also to add to that, that's going to put you in third place in points for the season. So heck of a season, and hats off for winning the final, man.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it. I had a really crazy season. I mean, I had the points lead for, like 4 or 5 weeks, and then I had a string of races. So I just wrecked, like 30-second wrecked, and then I could just never catch. I just couldn't catch up. I thought Tim Nosker had it sewn up. I didn't think he was gonna lose it, but good championship for Six Pack. I mean, everybody at the races over there at MSR at the Tally Challenge. I mean, I'm not like slighting any leagues out there, but it's for super speedway racing, man. If you want to test your skills, that's where you want to go. I mean, because in my opinion, that's where the best races are.
Yeah, 10-4, I hear that. Now let's get back to a little bit of those last laps, that last green flag run right there. We have a green-white checker or whatnot, and it looked like you had it, and then it looked like McClure was going to get around you, and then all of a sudden you made another charge right back towards it again. I mean, that was one heck of a finish between you and McClure.
Yeah, what happened? To be honest, I actually thought I was done. I mean, they were like David Day. I was like just at his bumper on the when he was on the outside of me. I pretty much thought I was done. And then I don't know. I seen that there were no cars behind him. I didn't know what happened, and I started running a little bit more towards the middle of the track and like sort of kind of diamonding into the corner to get a better run. And then we started catching them, and that's. I think that's pretty much what it was. Otherwise, if there was cars behind him, I wouldn't have won. Chuck would have. You've been talking to Chuck. That's guaranteed. I know that for sure. But it was crazy that we wrecked at the end. But it was at the checkered flag. So I mean, the whole race and all was just freaking crazy. It was so much fun. I had an up and down night. I got spun going into pit road. I was like 6-7 seconds back. Got within 2. We were catching them with Tim Nosker. Then the caution come out. Then it's a whole new race, as you guys saw. So.
Yeah, 10-4. Well, we all know how it goes at Talladega. It's a high-speed chess match, and you just got to be at the right place at the right time and hope you keep your car clean, and you did just that. I'm going to give the floor to you one more time, Chris. Go ahead and give a big shout-out to all your race fans out there watching. Quite a few of them are watching, and also give a shout-out to everybody that got you here tonight for this victory, buddy.
All right, thanks. I kind of got a long list, so I'll see if I can get through this. But just want to thank Too Slow Graphics for helping putting this on. Dave Cannon, Terry Bauman, all the admins at the MSR and the owners, Josh Metallic, Tim Nosker, Jason Scheck, Sean Prime, all the admins. I'm sure there's probably some I don't know, but David Lawson for sure. Those guys put in endless hours of us guys sometimes acting like little 12-year-olds after the races are over, looking at the replays, deciphering who's going to finish in what spot, this, that, or the other. So those guys are the unsung heroes of this entire league and their whole, the series that they got racing and stuff. I mean, those guys do an amazing job. And then, of course, thanks to you guys, DRTV Racing, Rich and Todd and Phil, you guys always put on a great show. It's second to none. You guys are awesome. I love watching. When I'm bored, I actually go on YouTube and I look for your videos and I watch races. So it's a lot of fun. Big shout out to my William Kodiani, though, who painted my car for me. It's a tribute to the Korean MMO game that I play, Black Desert, and the logo on the hood was the guild I'm in, Mithril. Shout out to any of the people from my guild that was watching. And then, hey, big shout out to my mom, she's watching, and my buddy Philly and anybody else. And thank you guys especially for doing all this.
Well, 10-4, we appreciate the kind words. I'm going to go ahead and let you get back to your crew, get back to your fans down here in Victory Lane. We're going to throw this back up to the guys up in the booth. One heck of a race today, guys. Back up to you.
Well, Rich, you hit it right on the head. Not only was it one heck of a race, but my broadcast partner, Todd Stanton, it's been one heck of a week over here at RTG. 3 awesome races in the big main event tonight. Chris Robbins taking down the win, but most of all, John Chapman Jr. able to take down the championship here for the Tally Challenge.
Yeah, seeing a guy coming from 25 points down and winning the championship here this evening, it was fantastic here to watch this race this evening. 3 and 4 wide, racing all over the place, and these guys were, like I said, just fantastic. That's all I can say. All week long, everybody got to thank Terry Bauman, Dave Cannon, Sean Prime, all these guys that run RTG, Rolling Thunder Gaming, Josh Metallic, even the drivers here at Rolling Thunder Gaming. These guys, if I miss anybody, these guys do a fantastic job setting up us, the broadcast crew, and everybody with everything that we need week in for every single race this week. So hats off to everybody over here at Rolling Thunder Gaming, Phil. I appreciate everything they do for us, the broadcast team, and I appreciate the racing that they got going on over here. And fantastic show, fantastic week. That's all I got to say this evening.
Yeah, I can't echo that enough to Dave, Terry, Sean, Josh, Tim, all the guys over here at under the RTG umbrella. All these guys are first class. All the information at our fingertips this week as far as statistics and driver rosters, you name it, information for the event, top notch. Cannot thank these guys. Hats off. And this championship week was a special time here, and I know hopefully a couple of months from now we'll be here to do it all over again, because I know we enjoy coming here to RTG, and we can't wait to come here again. But we'll be back here at RTG August the 29th, about 2 weeks and 2 days from tonight. The RTR All-Star Challenge from the Texas World Speedway. We will have live flag-to-flag coverage of that right here on DRTV. And I know, Rich and Todd, they're really, really pumped up to get away. And I can't wait to get back to the Texas World Speedway. I think that's going to make for one awesome race at the high speeds there around that big 2-mile super speedway, which should no doubt make for an awesome race here. 2 weeks from tonight, August 29th on a Saturday night. Look out for that. Special thanks to everybody out there, all our sponsors, NRT and everybody. And, of course, the home of DRTV is DRLRacing.com. Check us on out over there. Event packages to custom fit your league's needs. Get Todd, Rich, and myself over to your place, so we'd love to showcase everything you got going on here live on DRTV. So until next time, for Todd, for Rich, my name is Phil Lacasse. For everybody on behalf here at RTG, thank you for watching us, and we'll catch you next time here live on DRTV.
Do you want to go to heaven tonight? Leave the evidence far behind. Say, alright.